That's on YouTube. It's going to be Guy coming to you from Massage Japan. As always, my guy Lexis King. It's going to be episode number 141, man. Moving it up. We've been, man. It's been a while since almost since last time we talked, man. Between life happening, fucking, GT's on like the 11th update. We got new cars dropping. We got people getting the shit slapped out of them. We got fucking wars going on, man. Like it's damn, man. It's no shit, man. What, 2.5 weeks ago? The last time we was
Yeah, I think so.
Let me see, man. I'm gonna check it out real quick, man. But what's been up, man?
Man, dude, nothing. Well, I mean, a lot.
Yeah, I know, but nothing.
It's the same old grind, bro. Yeah. Putting in work, completed the R1.
Yeah.
Bring that up. Pretty much completed this R3. Started debating if I should start working on the R6 again.
Yeah.
My white RX-7 engine is done going in, getting ready to take the convertible to go get new turbo and set up, and then take the convertible from there to paint. Just did a couple little aero things on the RX-8, on the non-track car RX-8. I got too much shit going on.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, man, but hey, like everybody was, because people kind of come to my shop and they're like, man, you always busy. And like, man, kind of like somewhat like saying like Phil. So I'm like, nah, bro, like being busy is a good thing. Like, I mean, unless you want that life where you want to go into the woods and fuck everybody and live off the grid, you know what I mean? Sometimes life be like that. You be like, man, fuck this shit. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? I love my kids, man, but like, dude, all 5 of them were crying last night at the same time. And my wife was kind of had like this grumpy face. And I'm like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, you know, I did that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? But so after a second or so, people act like fake, like, oh man, everybody like, oh man, there's times where you be like, man, I want to just go to the fucking mountains and thrash. But at the same time, we ain't the type of men that's gonna like leave out people, right, like that. So you just gotta deal with it and everything. But what the video I'm watching right now, what's this was the second video before your latest one. So what's up with this?
Yeah, I'm on R1 content, just to get everybody up to speed, because I got every part in, and I just been sitting waiting to get everything in before I start knocking it out. So this was the last time we brought this out. What you're seeing is
it's always cool, man.
Brakes are done, tires are done, new rear sets and everything. That little bike, obviously the sprockets are done. The little bike it's not fast, but on that track, it's a weapon. So that's a faster bike in front of me, a whole another 100 cc's, a whole 10 more horsepower, and a whole.
What's the rule again? For the because the 400. Okay.
So mine is a 321, and that's a 400. You can see him coming up the left side of me. It can out horsepower me all day. But,
right.
This thing is way more flickable, way easier to handle, and how I got it set up now, it's really like a super sport. So,
right.
That was cool to actually. I was actually dragging me, and the other tires were just so fucking sketchy. I didn't even want to get low to risk it, but now, dude, I'm just flicking that thing through there, and I feel like I can go faster. I was 37.7s on the old tires. I'm doing 35.9s now.
So with the joint, man, and everything, have you noticed since you, because I haven't seen it until you came up on your channel. So did people know about this track before, or are they starting to see a little bit more people come out now that you've been hitting it up a lot with Jalen?
So people knew about it before, but they vacated it like 2 years ago. There was a tiff between the track management and the people.
Gotcha.
And they didn't like how track management handled the repaving, because this is a new surface. And the motorcycle guys, Supermoto motorcycle, everybody complained about the surface. The go-kart dudes kind of don't care. They can go in a parking lot, they can go wherever. So it's really only been go-kart guys frequently. And I was popping up there. There's a dude that does a super bike training school there, and it really wasn't much going on. These dudes here, though, these are my homeboys that I invited. one time, and then everybody knew of the track, but they didn't know the people were still going there.
Right.
So now these dudes have been hitting it up like every other week as well. Try to pop out anytime I get the chance. Like I brought Nicole with me because I've had Nicole with me. My wife's father had some health complications, so
Gotcha.
Nicole's been with. I've literally been like working all week and then just dadding all weekend. So, trying to keep that little girl busy. As you know, having young kids.
Yeah,
they
man.
don't shit about what's going on.
Nah, they don't know.
Yeah, in 30 seconds, I'm on something new. It's like, what's that? Who's that? Doggy. Airplane. Can I go ride a scooter?
Yeah, man. Yeah, but it's cool, man, to get him out there, man, because like it's one of those things where like people. Well, we're not watching. Well, we're watching them, but it's not like babysitting. It's just cool to involve them and have them there, like old enough to be around. And like I had my boys. Unfortunately, I won't take them drifting again, man, because they were like in the back of the arc seat, like ready to throw up, man. Because I didn't, to me, it don't feel like I'm going fast, right? But then then it's like they're in the back of the car, dude. And I thought they were just like, being extra like drama and shit. But yeah, man, I was like, oh fuck, they're in the back of the car swinging left and right. It's like a roller coaster. And one of my youngest son who actually turned 4 today, he kept saying his stomach hurt. I'm like, all right, man, just chill out, man.
In the back while you were drifting?
Yeah. And then they were like getting dit. So he passed out, dude. He passed out. Yeah. I felt like shit, man, because I was like, he passed. He like, no shit. Like, he kept screaming and then he stopped screaming. Like, all right, cool. But nah, for the 2 laps, he was passed out. And,
you
yeah, dude. That motherfucker went into safe mode, man. I'm gonna throw the video up because it's on my phone. But yeah, like he was slumped over. He took his helmet off and he was like laid over it. And I'm like, and I was scared honestly because my oldest son. He looked like his eyes were like half open, like he was on the way out, but he was still woke. But the youngest one was the youngest one was slumped over, like cold sweats, and when I went to shake him, like he wasn't responding. And I knew he was breathing and shit, but he wouldn't respond. And when I shook him harder, like he popped up like fully. You know how somebody get knocked out or they get choked.
Yeah, and he was up.
He popped up and his fucking his chest was. I'm like, nah, we're done, dude. His chest.
He was hyperventilating.
Yeah. But he was like really screaming about it. I'm like, man, he'll get over it. And he stopped screaming. Like, all right, cool, he's good. But nah, he was.
How old were the two?
Well, he was. This was about a week and a half ago. That was the pictures I put up in the black arc seat. He was 3.
I saw that video, but yeah, how old?
He's 3, and then my oldest is he's 6.
Damn, you maxed him out,
dude. The thing is, I didn't record any of it because I was like just doing warm ups. So
right,
and then I was like, I did tell him, I was like, man, shut up, man. I was like, shut up, and I was like,
yeah, the war.
So, dude, I couldn't have posted that shit, man. I would have got. I mean, bro, yeah. So yeah,
that's
dude.
What I to do with Jalen, but I didn't do like continuous drifts.
Yeah,
like I'd hit one ramp and kill it, and he'd be in the back chuckling and laughing. One time I did do a transition, and I never used to put him in a baby seat. You know how the back, RX-8 are like really like bucket seats.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's cool, but man, I chucked that transition. That little fool went from one seat to the other. Oh
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was wild. At least I got I got a video. I'll throw it up there, man. But he was like that video. It looked like they probably like he went to sleep. He did go to sleep in a snow joint because it was like it was low speed.
Right.
He just went to sleep. Well, I was throwing it a little bit, so I think he went to sleep. Asleep. But this time when I woke him up, like I said, chest was fucking heart was pounding, and he was like, oh, like he started like crying a little bit, and I was like, all right, we're done, dude. And it was getting hot in there too. And then I started like I forgot they were back there, and then I started like really going in. I'm like, dude, I got 2 kids in the back, and I'm going 4th gear manji and shit. It's like, all right, dude, chill out, dude. So
this is how my daughter is a psycho. Nicole's gonna be a psychopath. My wife and my son were in the Series 2 RX-8.
Yeah.
And my daughter was in the track car with me, and we're hitting the back road fucking bombing, right? So my son's driving the other RX-8, and I'm driving the other one.
Yeah.
And we're bombing, and my daughter is just like having a blast, bro. I'm just like, this little girl is tripping.
Yeah.
Because, she's like, oh, it's cool. Everything's cool.
Yeah, it's normal. It's normal.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, dude. I feel bad that whoever's son is going to try to impress her.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It ain't going to happen. There's nothing that you're going to be able to do by the time she's dating age to impress her.
Right.
Not driving, she's probably going to drive better. Not your riding, she's probably going to ride better. There's just really not going to be anything.
Yeah, she gonna be I can see her now. Like, see, you got the video right here explaining the tire, like sidewall and all that stuff, right? And it's gonna be some lame ass dude like trying to kick down all this. She'll probably let him kick it for like 10 minutes. Like, actually, nah, all that shit you said is wrong. Like, none of that shit. Like,
yeah, somebody's son better be on their job.
Yeah,
because shit is gonna be crazy funny. She's just gonna, and she's the type. She's petty enough to let him talk and get it all out, and then be like, "Yeah, nah."
Yeah.
Like, girl is a trip, dude. She got a thing now. She likes calling me by my first name when she's like, I do something. She be like, "Lexis, knock it off." like,
yeah, man. But hey, man, we had that going on. Then I got to agenda up the FD, man. What was your thoughts on the FD, man? Some of the carnage and the outcomes and everything, man. How'd you like it, man?
That was weird right there, Ryan.
It is funny. Both of those guys on our podcast, by the way. So it's like I got my podcast guys battling each other and shit.
But it's kind of not Ryan's fault.
Oh no, man. It's the one thing. Which comment? Go ahead, man.
I feel bad that the casual people may not understand what the chase position's all about. They just get the dramatics like this right here, and they're like, "Oh my God, his car got destroyed."
Yeah.
Oh, like we know.
Yeah.
We know
that thing is already fixed.
Edge of the track may be cold, and edge of the track may have a ton of tire and debris on it.
Right.
So as you get to angle and you get right there, see, Chelsea even did it. You pitch more angle because the car's like feels like it's going at the wall. You feel like you may or may not make it, but you just preserve yourself and be like, you know what, more fucking angle, stand it to shoot it away from the wall. And unfortunately,
bro, this guy, I didn't know who, honestly, the Charpentier. He was. I didn't know. I heard his name before, man, but he was getting it in, man. He was.
Funny, we drive with him in Winter Jam.
Yeah, he was
Rome.
Rome
Ready. He's like on the pinnacle. He's like ready to go. He just needs one or two events to really blow to get into that era of like, I'm the new guy.
Right.
The new
and then the guy, the Stuke, again, I've learned, I didn't, he was, they had what, 2 one more times or something like that, man. They were, I like that, man, because again, I'll bring it up later, man. I've been kind of full, boy. He went all right there, man. He pulled that, man. This shit was, I watched, I went down to Tokyo. I watched the whole thing. I was driving out to Tokyo while I didn't see the live, but I was really entertained, man, because like it's new guys. It was a lot of goddamn incompletes.
Yeah.
The a lot of new guys. The guy came out and everybody was talking crap about the cat with the V12 thing. I'm like, dude, that's how.
I love that.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, we know what it is. You got to work the shit out. Like, give that guy a few rounds, and he's also a champ too. So it was a lot of casuals online talking shit.
This is Darren Kelly.
Yeah.
If you're an idiot, you don't know.
Yeah.
If you're in the dream, you know. This isn't some new dude that got a pocket full of money.
Right.
Darren's running a GTR at home, D1NZ,
Yeah, it's
D1N.
it.
He's been running D1NZ in that car for a couple of seasons. It's pretty proven. Of course, you put a couple of dollars into your season each, start to make sure everything's good to go and run it. But this is a bad move right here.
Yeah.
That just, I instantly saw his trunk go up and was like, what the fuck? But
Yeah.
guys are having pressure to drive. He knew he had to make more aggressive of a tandem chase.
Right. He stated, he called it right out, right? So he said, like, yeah, I didn't want him to get away. Like you know, and he said it was that one. It was funny. What was funny was the commentary right before Wichicon was praising him for being like right there, like kind of when Chelsea did his thing and a few other times. But it was just like again 1 inch.
That's
literally,
man.
Yeah.
You're sitting low. You're sitting really low in the cockpit.
And we'll speak on this in a second here.
Long nose car.
Yeah.
So you can be off an inch or two.
Yeah.
Just be aggressive and that kind of shit just happens.
Yeah.
But I love Matt's response. It's just like Will Smith slapping the shit out of Chris Rock. I love Matt taking his phone, expressing that he was unhappy, and saying, "Hey, Osbo, fuck you, dude." Like, it's like in that moment, you just were hyped up about possibly going to battle for first place. You want to be on the top step of the trophy. Of the podium. Right. You don't want to be to the side. You want to battle for the win. You're animated, you're hyped, you're ready to do work, and your shit gets cut short. So in that moment of time, I love that. That's the energy I love because that's gladiator shit. Right. Yeah, people that cry about it, you got to explain it. But, man, for the most part, I love that. I love it, getting caught up, getting emotions, things happening. That's human shit.
Yeah. No doubt, man. Like it was just, I was one thing. I mean, it's like the vets is like you like Forsberg, the Z had a good showing with that for the first. He definitely did good for them, like just building that car and everything, and then also like it would have been kind of like I guess it would have brought down the game a little bit. Well, not a game, but it would have brought down the promotion a little bit if he went out there and not did well. But he did pretty well for a new car, man. They did a smart move by taking the engine out of his other car, so he didn't have to really learn the power dynamics all over again. And that car is pretty much similar as far as I know to the 370. So it's not like he went from that to like Hull, who actually. I like this entry, man. That was pretty aggressive entry against the wall tap on the first entry. That was pretty nice, man. But Hall in the Corvette, which it looks like he's going to be a little bit more better in that car versus the CTS. What the fuck is that thing called? CV.
The ATS.
Yeah. So like he's going to be a little bit better in that and everything, man. So it's cool to see again at rookies. I was looking forward to the last guy, so to see Power, to see Love, then Astute guy, and then the other guys, man. Like I sent them guys a message, man. Like the new guy, the old guys, of course, are there. They're gonna keep their thing and be there. But man, I think it's mixing shit up. And JR not being there, Die not being there. Then what's gonna happen? And I hate to call it because he's such a good guy. Like Gucci is gonna get booted by these new guys, man. Like I don't know what's going on. I thought he was going to be driving in Japan exclusively, but he's going to be driving both. So I don't know, man. I just, he's getting older. Maybe the fire's not there. And these new guys ain't really coming in playing like I'm a new guy. No, they coming in to fucking make your name and make it notice, man.
Yeah, I really think it does look like you can clearly tell the older guys are slowing down.
Sure.
The mid, and I mean older guys as far as the series, not in age,
right.
But it's being in the series for a long time. You got Denofa, that's really, he's a force behind a lot of aggression and style. You got, surprisingly, Kyle Mohan, I feel, got robbed.
Yeah.
He ran really good chases and leads. He ran one chase and lead, and I think he got one more time if I can remember. But Oh, he did work, man. I think he did work. It was possibly could have went either way on the first one. So, you got guys that are just phasing out, dude.
Yeah.
Some guys got to even think about, and this is a hot take. I feel like some guys just got to think about what they want to continue to do.
Right. Because you get into, like we said before, they get into the point is and it's new guys do it a bunch, and then some old guys towards the end of the careers like that, just showing face or just like kind of they just padding the resume a little bit more, so that when it's done, like, yeah, I got this many starts, this many events.
Yeah, you can qualify. Great.
Right.
You can qualify. That's fine. But when these tandems start happening, I don't know. Guys start going all over the place. I do think it's time for new dudes to cut their teeth, push some of these old cats out the way that ain't doing their thing.
Right.
They just got to get their nerves better for qualifying. But once guys are getting in the battle, I think they're going to go hard for Sorensen doing work.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of guys are really what's Dominican Republic dude?
Castro.
Yeah, doing amazing still. But he's still like a close to 10. Damn, he's coming close to 10 years. He's on the better side of 10 years than not. But yeah, these guys it's their time to start doing work. Castro's, Chelsea's, these guys got to really be the guys to step it up and change it. They've been in long enough. They've got enough going on. People are familiar enough with them. And then the new guys really got to come through and show the old dudes that don't drive enough anymore. They only drive for work. They don't just drive for the fun of it, for the love of it. Show them why they either need to drive like that or go somewhere.
Yeah. So it was good. It was because I was like, all right, is this going to be the same old shit? I was, and it ended up being, Tarek, so he's a well-known guy. So still, it's kind of those things where, again, like we always kind of bring up motocross now that I'm doing it more. One thing I don't like about motocross, man, is how the guys fall in line too easy. Like when they line up, the guys are interviewing on other podcasts, and they're talking about Tomac or whatever. It's like they talk about them like they're not going to line up in 40 across. Like and it's like they make the main event, which I was like, some people are just happy with making a main event. That's in their mind because they're privateers or whatever. They're cool with it. I'm like, nah, bro. If I'm making that bitch, like, we gotta go, man. We I don't give a fuck who the champ is. You gotta go. And I don't like how they cap themselves. When you mentally do that, you're never gonna get anywhere close to top 10. Top in the top 10 finish in motocross is like a big fucking deal. And I don't like that. I like the to me is I've always seen motocross, but now that I actually ride it. Sorry, Supercross. I don't ride Supercross, I ride motocross. But now that I actually ride the bikes, I can relate to it, so it feels more. If that makes sense, it feels more like MotoGP to you. It means more because you actually do that. You know what I mean? But I don't like the attitude that I see a lot of guys having, where they just, I'm just going to finish top 15, and that's just what it's going to be. And I'm like, dude, but you're the same age as the champ, so you're going to be fucking gone in 2 years. The champ is going to be gone. He's 29 years old, and he's going to be the oldest champ, and he's good. He don't fucking need to keep doing this shit. So
it's like Logan Paul going into WrestleMania, winning his match. It's got to be new, entertaining, able blood, right? And you got to have almost a delusional sense of confidence, right? Don't be a dickhead. But
right. Be real. Yeah.
Like, I want to come and blow your face off.
Right.
I want to get the whole shot award. And, I would love to hear that in the interview. I want to get the whole shot, and I want to lead at least 5 laps.
Right.
I want to be able to be out front and maybe fight for a podium if a couple guys get around me, get third or close to the podium and see what's up, see where it lays, where the dust settles,
Right.
Those kind of things would be cool. You got rookies that come through in MotoGP, and once they know they qualify and they get their numbers in and they say, okay, this is the qualifying pace, this is the race pace, all right, we're going to go shake it up. And then they go shake it up.
Right.
I love that because, you get a new name go and rival a household name, and everybody at home on the TV goes crazy. Everybody in the stands crazy.
And what's crazy now, man, is the correlation. Like people bring it up and they bring it up kind of jokingly or for analytics. The as soon as you fight somebody or you do something, like you see it all the time, UFC, a dude will fight somebody, he has like 240 like followers, right? After that fight with Conor, dude's in a million followers overnight, and he lost.
Right,
but
right.
It's like the rub, man. You get the rub from those guys. If you give Hamilton a run for his money for fucking 3 laps, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he passes you and wins anyway. But
yeah, a clean one,
right?
And a good dominating performance from him has to be what takes you out. That means you'll be like, oh, this guy's arrived. He's ready to rock. Right. He's ready to play the big leagues. Like Stylebender. Stylebender was saying, looking at the Hot Boxing podcast.
Oh yeah, I just watched it yesterday. Dope.
I want to kill you, bro. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing where it's like I like those type of personalities. Super humble, super chilling, but it's like, hey, yo.
Like when he said, I know I'm the shit, but I know I'm not shit.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a very serious thing to understand. Yeah. Where like I know I'm the shit, but at any moment I could not be shit, right? Because I can keep one clean one and be fucked up.
Yeah. So and then to have both those guys champ, both those guys took losses in front of the world of fighting and everything, and then like the cool thing, well, I know it reminds me of because guys will fight. Wanderlei Silva beat Rampage twice and beat not only beat him but knocked him out, like blood like, leaking, all types of shit. Check out Pride back in the day, shit was ruthless. And Wanderlei was on all the fucking steroids and shit. And he knocked him out, and then he came over to UFC, and then he was aged, he learned more, and then Wanderlei got older, and then he fucking knocked Wanderlei out. So I think the dude he beat the dude Pereira beat Stylebender twice, and he's come over there. He got a contract with UFC. I'm like, dude, different guy, man. Like it's a different guy. So they're gonna fight, and he's gonna. I'm looking forward to that because it's like he's the guy is banking on the past results, and Stylebender is a totally different guy. So that's one. And at the same time, saying the cool thing is he could possibly beat him. I mean, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's why we tune in for those shits and like. And I'm saying that to say, man, I do get tired of seeing the same fucking 5 guys, but not their fault because it's not their problem that they're just better and they got more prepared. Same for motocross, same for MotoGP. You got the same 10 guys consistently finishing where they finishing, meaning that they're battling with each other and everybody else. You're just paying for the track to be open. That's what we're using. That's what we use your entry fee for. Because
I think it's been pretty cool with the motorcycles lately because Ducati has always been known to be the most powerful bike. Guys just haven't been able to put it together. Now the guys are putting it together, and the Ducatis are running away from everybody. Then the KTM stepped in, and they come with power. Now it's a shootout. Instead of it being Honda, Yamaha type thing, even Aprilia has come in.
Right.
Crazy. So now you got the unusual suspects instead of the usual suspects. Then in World Superbike, you got Top Rack. He's going crazy. But you had Rhea for 6 years straight. It was Kawasaki and Rhea for 6 years straight. And then you got this little stunner. Dude is always doing circle wheelies in the pits, in his pit box on the scooter and riding in hella stoppies. And he's a stunner. He's a stunner when he was a kid. He played on all these little bikes doing a ton of wheelies. The dude has unreal bike control. Can he put it back together this new season? We really want to see. But it's an exciting ride, right? Because this dude is gonna hang it loose. It's just like Moto America. The guy that won it on Yamaha, he has a different body position, right?
Right.
His position isn't the typical dipped in, super low, hanging, trying to scrub his shoulder. He's just a little bit off of the bike and not a serious lean, but he's a tall dude. He moves his weight in and out. Um, those type of things are sick because when you look at it and recognize it, like I did a podcast with my boy Palmer, the Goodest Podcast,
Mm.
and he was saying it was cool sitting up in the tower watching me judge, and he was like, damn, because as soon as things would happen, I would say it. I would call him out.
Right.
And he was like, fuck, you were saying stuff so quick that our brains hadn't processed what we saw, but we thought we saw something. And you not only saw it, but you called it out, instantly when it happened. Right. And then it was just like, damn, this guy's good. And I'm like, when I watch shit, I watch things like if I'm just sitting watching for entertainment, I'll turn my analytical brain off. I'll turn my super focused brain off. I just want to.
It's hard to do, though.
It's super hard to do, right? Yeah, but when I'm on a critical move, I'm watching everything. When I'm watching motorcycle racing, I'd be like, damn, how the hell did he slow the bike down from that speed and still make the corner? I watched his body position and say, shit, that's how he did it. Then with cars, I'm watching people stuff. Like the second I saw Osbo, I knew he touched his Matt's car before his wheels were counter steered. And when you could see he turned them in to kick the car even more on the rotation to go at the wall. But when he kicked it in, the car still stayed this way. And when I glanced my eyes up, you could see his hatchet went up.
I didn't see that to like the second replay though.
Oh, I saw it the second it happened. I'm like, yo. So then when Matt crashed and you could see Matt was sitting in there, I said, okay, that confirms what I saw. I was like, Osbo hit him. He didn't let him transition. So then when they showed on the replay, I was like, okay, cool, that's what I saw. So it's like things like that I'm seeing. But hearing Palmer say that he was like surprised, like, God damn, like you see things that quickly. I'm like, I see it with everybody. With this training course that I've been instructing at, guided pilots, we're doing drift training instruction at like a learner's drift day type thing. And it's guys that know how to drift, but just need some brushing up, some polishing. And I'm trying to make them weapons, right? And they kind of had it split up where I took 4 guys, the other guy takes 4 guys. But I'm like, bro, I'm used to a 37 car field workload. I'm used to watching every single run that they put down, taking notes, knowing the speeds that guys are moving at, keeping track of what tires they're using, referencing what they did on that tire versus what they did on the other tire. It's like I'm used to seeing so many things. I'm like, bro, it's just 8 people. I got them. You know what I mean? And I go and give, and they were tripping because I'm like, yeah, you did this, and that. I think you would work out better if you tried this type of entry. Don't worry about this and do this and that. You this and that. And it's just like I go down with 8 guys, and they're just like, damn.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing. I'm like, yeah, I watch everybody. I watch every run. I watch everything. Your steering is late. You do too much steering on the lead up. Your flick seems lazy, right? Yeah, because you went from understeer to understeer. And then you handbraked. And, it's just shit like that. And so when I'm watching things for entertainment, I still kind of pick things. So then it's cool. Like when I go to the track and I jam and I do stuff on the R3 because in my head, I've watched somebody do something that worked out and it answered a question for me about something that I was doing wrong.
Right.
Because all of the footage that I take isn't just to show people in a vlog. It's for me to analyze and go over. What did I do wrong? Oh, when I was going through here, I felt like I was this way. And then I was lazy on the throttle. I should have got back on the throttle. It felt like I was on the throttle, but I see in the video I wasn't on the throttle yet. Let me clean that up. So then when I go to the track and I do the shit, then it's like, okay, I'm pleased with that, but I see more stuff. And then with Jay, It's like, I need you to do this, need you to do that. It felt like this there, right? Yeah, okay, that's why this happened. And then I need you to do this to prevent this and this happening. I need you to start this at this turn way back here, because by the time you get here, you're going to be in this position looking here, and the bike's going to be doing that. So it's like, I really like that kind of technical viewing shit and soaking in information and then transferring it.
Yeah, man, and that's the biggest thing too, right there, is being able. And I was listening to a podcast too, and that's one thing, man, to have the skill that you have to be able to see things, because it's like, it's not like we're wizards, but it's just we've been in that situation so many times. And what they say about that thing about you know, it takes like it takes 10,000 hours of doing something to be proficient. And I've done, and I'm happy to say I've done that in multiple music, cars, martial arts, like multiple things. Because I mean, you live long enough, you'll definitely live 2,000 hours is what 400 some days, and that means you got well over 400 days on that bike behind you. You know what I mean? You got well.
And you know what else is dope? And I know you do this probably as well.
Yeah,
I do this shit all the time. I could be in here working on shit.
Sorry, my 4 hours or some shit. 10,000 hours.
1,000 hours, yeah. But yeah, I could be in here working on shit, and I could just be quiet, having music going, and I'm working on shit. But as I'm working, I'm kind of on autopilot, because in my brain, I'm going over shit. I'm going over basically the experience or footage in my head, essentially the memories of shit. And I'm shadow boxing in my head. I'm going over everything.
Right.
Everything, thinking about everything I felt like I came up short on. Very maniacal shit, right? But I'll be doing that when I'm in here working or getting the car together or doing something. Like when I used to be trailering the car down to LA for something, the whole ride down, if I'm not on the phone or searching up parts or anything, just wasting time on the phone, the whole time I'm driving, in my head, I'm running laps. I'm running my run start to finish in my head. You know, it's like, so even though you're not physically doing something,
right,
still putting in work, you're putting in hours, you're putting in time in your head.
I was just telling the guy about that too, because I was, you know, one guy ran into me in a supermarket, and he's a jiu-jitsu guy, and he was like, yeah, man, you like, you know, I don't see you at training. Like, yeah, honestly, I ain't got time. I mean, I got time, but my time is put towards a shop, and now I'm teaching my kids motocross, and so I don't have time for that. So I'm quick to correct myself when I tell people that I do have time. It's just my time is where I want to put it at. And some people get offended by that, oddly enough. I'm not sure why, but hey, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, nah, I don't have time to, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's like, but I tell him, I was like, yeah, but I don't stop training, even though I'm not there. Yeah, I'm not physically doing it. I'm not physically tired, but I do actually, when I'm in a tub in a little sauna thing chilling, I actually do run through like drills in my head. And then when I go to train, I don't say I didn't train in one, because that's a big thing. And I know you get it on bike guys, car guys, they always got to put out there when the last time they did some shit. So people are, when they prejudge that everybody does that shit, you can say, oh, well, he looks like shit because he ain't been on a track in a year. Like, nah, I just, it don't fucking matter. So I went up there to the last event. I ain't been to the event in a while, and I still was throwing an RX-8 stock with kids in the back faster than dudes with 400 horsepower. Why is that? Because I got those hours. I got those hours in where you just become proficient at shit, and you can just one lap, shake it off, and right into it. You know what I'm saying? And that takes people try to downplay that shit, but that, you know, hey man, that was the time you put in it versus going out and partying and shit. Not saying partying is bad, you know what I'm saying? Because we know our guy Stan Bro Williams gets it in on the partying, but he still turn those wrenches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so put in work. You got to have a good balance, and that's like, you know, I've put in so many hours. You know, when I tell these stories and I go over all this shit, and it's like, yeah, I've been doing this steering wheel thing since '95, dog, right. And I do not think since I've started, I don't think I've taken a year off from anything. Now, there's been times that I haven't drifted for a year, but I'll be on the sim doing stuff.
Right.
And I'll be in the back roads doing stuff, or I'll do something on the street. But I never take a break or a stop. I never let it go. I never end it. Nothing's final with me. This shit is permanent for me. You know what I mean? I did take a cold turkey break from the motorcycles for 10 years.
You redistribute time, man. That's all.
I took a decade off of the bikes, but you see what fucking happened.
Yeah.
I re myself in the shit hard, and I've been doing it just consistently back to back to back. Whether I'm riding the street or I'm riding the big track or I'm riding the go-kart track, I'm putting in that work because now I have a goal, and I'm secretly super competitive.
Right.
If I got any homies, if I have any homies that do any track shit and you've put up a video and or a lap time, I'm going to go rival it or try to beat it. It's going to happen. You can't put up anything around me without me trying to test my mic. And, I don't care how long anybody's been riding or how many events they've done it anywhere. If we're with I made a big mistake. Like, this bike has exhaust and everything now. I rebuilt it and I didn't leave well enough alone. I didn't put it back to stock. It's got 3/4 exhaust. The ECU's been sent off and tuned. I did velocity stacks, filters, obviously I already had the sprockets. This bike is probably going to have way too much more horsepower than I already had. And again, that's where this thing comes in at. Now this is even more important because that's going to be like a 170 horsepower bike. At the wheel, I do mean, you know what I mean? Now, everybody hears all these numbers like Max Wrist, his bike does 204 at the wheel or 203 at the wheel, which is a ton of power.
Right.
My other homeboys that they came over, and he's got a really built BMW M1000. I rode it. It's about a 213 horsepower at the wheel bike. It's terrifyingly fast, but it cannot keep the front wheel down. This thing having about 175 horsepower at the wheel, it's going to be usably fast. So whereas they may have 30 more horsepower than me, that bike has a little more weight on it. The way it produces power is way different. And on the track, that's going to be extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
So I bit off more than I could chew when I bought the bike originally, but I've been working on making it happen. The crash happened. The rebuild happened. Now I know this bike inside and out the same way I know this bike. I literally took everything apart, redid everything. I know what every nut and bolt is. I know what every Allen key size is. There were parts that were missing originally on the bike that I didn't touch, that I just left it alone because I feel like somebody else tracked the bike before I got it.
Right.
And then they just brought back to stock when I got it. But this thing is a weapon, dog. And but now I'm hell bent on it. I'm hell bent on being competitive. If my friends are fast, I don't care how long or how short of a ride time I've had. I've got to be in that company. I've got to be the same as the company that I keep. That's on any level.
You got to be, man. Because if you don't, you'll be like that. You see a lot of guys that are like not idiots, man, but they surround themselves with those people, and it's like I can't talk to you now, man. Like we can't. I got kids and a wife and responsibilities, and you're just out there YOLOing it up. Like, I mean, there's times when that's applicable, but like not every day, man. And it's like, with that correlates to everything, man. You want to get good. Like, I mean, honestly, because I told before, I don't have that here because it's being I'm on an island, man, kind of by myself here on an island because I'm a shop owner and I'm an American. So it's different even from the Japanese guys because they're shop owners. They've been around for years, but they are threatened by me, man. And I know that, what I mean? And I know the energy when I hit them up for something, they ignore me. I'm like, all right, cool. I got it, blacklisted. But at the same time, man, like, it's you got to have that company around. So I kind of use my guy Alan at Bridge Moto. Again, I got the gloves right here and everything. Go check those out, bridgemoto.com. The cool little
motorcycle.
Yeah, it's a motorcycle. Yeah. And the funny thing, like, he's always been into bikes. I got into it, then we started talking about it. Then it kind of like reignited the stuff, man. Then I see y'all talking about. You was like, he posted a yellow bike, and you said something. He was like, yeah, I got that and this. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? Because
that R1 and the Ducati.
Yeah. So it's now because the thing is, his car business is doing well. the safety gear is doing well. So it's like, hey man, what else can he add that's not gonna that's still fun? Number one, because he just got his M license the other day and everything. So it's still fun and it's lucrative and everything. So it's not like and it's still he can tie in safety into that. So it's like, man, it's cool. And so we both kind of, within the last 2 years I got on a bike thing. He got back on. I didn't know he actually was into bikes. We talked. He's like, yeah, my dad, this, and this. So it's kind of hard that I think most car guys are in a bikes as well, man. They both split, and every guy that has a bike has a car. You know what I'm saying? So
ATV, that's an R1. He got like my other one in the backyard.
Yeah.
He's got an 06, and it's built like fuck. I went and got him. Well, I wouldn't say it's built, but it's equipped like crazy.
Right.
Marchesini wheels, Olin Sports and shit. It's sprocketed. I think it's got power commander and exhaust. I mean, yeah, everybody has bikes, man. Everybody is a dual threat, can do other things. That's just about not being complacent.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You do other shit, you get really good at it, and everything's cool. And it's like, what other trouble can I get into? You know what I mean? And most of the time it is trouble, but you can get into some good things and experience shit in a way that it's safe. It doesn't take you out from your other activities. And, these bikes are just a sideshow. They're a secondary show for what I actually do, what I'm just waiting to get back to doing. And plus with me personally, my drive is my kid. He's fast. He's going to be fast. He's going to get faster. He's going to beat me. I just have to set that time frame out. I make it easy for him to beat me in anything, drifting, motorcycles, nothing. It cannot be easy for him to get there. He has to put hella effort down, which means I have to put more effort down because I always have to stay ahead of the pace. The second that he does beat me, which I know it's inevitable, I know this motherfucker is crazy because he's got to be that much faster, that much better, see everything quicker than me, react quicker than me, because he's got to get around me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be putting up a time, a drift, a line that's going to try to keep me at an advantageous position. And he's got to achieve that through sheer drive, because I could do it from experience and knowing the anatomy of tracks, the way that I can take different lines to get to one exit point. So I think that's dope. It's just alpha shit, man, of having the drive to not want to, I don't want to be the lightweight. Like if I'm in a group of my homeboys and everybody's like accredited rider, not gonna say,
no. Yeah, you can't be that guy, man. You can't be the you can't be the butt of the jokes. You can't be like the and it's people say, oh well, you take your shit too serious. Like, nah, man. It's like, even though we're doing this, like the reason why I do well and the reason why you do well and the people we know do well, man, because we acknowledge that life is a competition, man. And when you don't acknowledge that, you're gonna be the guy to get friend zoned all the time. You're gonna be the guy to get picked last all the time. You're gonna be that guy, and that's sometimes it comes down to most of those dudes that have a dad around or a strong uncle or whatever, or a cousin to kind of, we speaking on men because we're men, and I can't speak on women. I don't know about that shit. But the don't even want to try to figure that shit out. But the it's like you can be competitive without being like a, people. Because let's bring up Kanye, man. Like, he's competitive, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he don't know how to dial that shit down where it doesn't become annoying or overbearing. And you kind of go overboard. But that, again, to get where Kanye is and Mike Jordan is and Kobe was and all those type people, is something that propels you way over to keep you up there, to get you to their point and to keep you there, because it's hard to maintain that. And you see some people who get a little bit of that for a little bit, and they be like, nah, man, you can have this belt back. Fuck that. I want to just be a regular dude, top 5.
Nah. And see, that's the thing about it. I'm built for that shit.
Right.
I want to be the guy that everybody's gunning at. I want to be the motherfucker that you want to take out every time you see me.
Yeah.
But make it so that you
And you and
can't.
you know and you know before they even say anything that the energy's there. Like, yeah, that motherfucker don't like me, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. That,
yeah.
I like that. I like, dude. When we're at the track with the other homies, they're on faster bikes. They road track more than me. They for sure. Everybody in the road track more than my son. But I want if I feed into him, I want you to be able to, when you're on track, feel like you're the fastest dude there. But you have to also prove it. You can't just feel something and
Oh
not
yeah,
put that.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if there's somebody fast on the track that you see or thinks fast, target, lock, fixate, and reel that motherfucker in. Get on him to the point that you go for a pass, and then you see they start trying to keep you from passing them. Make the pass still, because it's even better when you know they're trying to outrun you,
Right.
and you'll find a way to beat him. And once you get around them, clear their ass, like clear out on them so that they know, okay, well, I'm gonna slow down. That motherfucker's faster.
Right.
You know, I try to do that around any cars on the track that I'm in the same class that I can keep up with. You might be faster than me, but once I catch you, I'm gonna get around you and I'm gonna outpace you so that you
God, man,
surrender.
the bike, my bad. You probably hear that. It's a Ducati in the background right now. The season started a week ago, so and I
Oh,
got a bike shop right next to my shop. Actually, we never talk, but yeah, it's whatever.
yeah, dude, it's shit like that. I'm built for that. I love it
Yeah.
because after we get off the track, I'm still coming over to give you a
Oh
high
yeah, yeah,
five.
yeah, yeah, man.
That's
It is.
dope. Love it.
It's yeah. Some people, man. I know some people who do stuff, and they always like put that cap there, like, oh man, you know, I'm just doing this, I'm just doing that. Like, nah, dude, like you don't want to do what you gotta do to go to that next level, so you're just content where you're at, but you want to be higher. I read that energy a lot, like, you know, and that's why, honestly, I told guys that's why I stayed away. I would go to the track, but I would just go there just to drift around, and I don't record stuff much anymore. And like I said last week, I just took the RX-8 was the only, and you know, everybody giving like that was the only car I had in my whole fleet that was ready to slide. And
Yeah,
my whole
yeah.
so I'm like, you know, I just put some gas in it and checked the oil, and that was it. And I threw it on the truck, and I was like, I know it's going to suck before I get there, because it's like, you know, and it's not that it sucks. It's just it's a different kind of, well, I would say I would need at least a more aggressive, because I got a stock clutch, by the way, stock everything, OEM,
Yeah, yeah.
bone
Like
stock.
me. 5, yeah,
And
65.
it's so I know if you had like a you know, the diff is I can feel it unlocking a little bit. The way this track is really tight, so it unlocks too quickly. So if it's a long sweeper, it stays locked. But as soon as you go into like a little
The
and
diff,
you
yeah.
let off, you can feel it, and you got to kick back in it, and it stock clutch, when you kick it, it doesn't do shit. It doesn't do anything. It just kicks. So the car could be enjoyable if I upgraded a few things, but the camera, everything is stock, so it was rolling. I could feel the wheels rolling over. It was like kind of when Takumi jumped into 85 and like, nah, this shit sucks. But but it's not that. I think the RX-8, because I know you're an RX-8 guy, I'm not trying to bash it too much, but
They are
the chassis is
like,
good. It's just the powertrain, in a way, like a 4AG is less power, but it activates different. Like the Hachiroku stock engine is peaky, is torquey. It's a different kind of engine, and people know the Renis engine. They know what it's for, and it's a great grip car. So you can go grip out the box. But as far as trying to emulate something close to your 500 horsepower drift car, you just can't compare. So while I do like the RX-8, I gotta swap the engine, man, because but at the same time, the engine's going to go on something else though. So we're recycling, and I got a few projects that's going to, like, I got a Miata coming, and RX-8 engine is going to go into that. And you know,
lie, man. I was this close,
yeah,
to buying a turbo setup
yeah,
already, getting the GTX turbo or any of the newer Garrett efficient joints, small ones, and throwing it on the track car.
yeah,
Again, I feel like I'd be copping out. Because for one, I would be dropping the reliability of the car. It would put me in a whole different class of car. it may not even be as fast as the other class of cars that I would be putting myself in, but it just would be like, I feel like it's a cop out. I don't know why. I got to get out of that thing, but I've just been in it so long that I love bringing nice to gunfights.
Yeah,
I sneak through and stab.
And now, because I seen you know, I've been inactive on a group, man. But dude, I peep like your style transition to the game, and then you and Kurt go back and forth. Like, man, you know, Kurt was like, man, you know, so it's like you do it on the game too, man. Where you're like, oh man, y'all got all that shit, but I got this. Come run it, and it's like I can do. The thing is, like I know you can do the fucking wild shit, and I do have those cars where like when I go in certain groups, like all right, I gotta. Well, not cars actually. I just flip the page I like the page. Yeah. I like the page when there people out there with GT paid. Don't fucking. I actually did. I bought 4 Corollas just because I don't know why. I bought 4 hot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just kept clicking on that. All right, that's enough. It's like
yeah. I got 3 or 4 FCs.
Right.
I got 2 Rosas.
I fucked up. I only bought 1 FC.
Oh really? Yeah, I got 3 of them. There's one in the used lot right now. You should get on. Okay. I got 2 Corollas, one 11, one Trueno. The 11 supercharged built engine. The Trueno is all motor. So I do shit like that. And what I be doing with Curtis and them, because it's like y'all come and throw every part at the car. Right?
Yeah.
It's not tuned to perfection. It's like, why did you do that? Like, drive a car and he's going around Tsukuba and he going through the flop turn, and you know that long left-hander, dude, he's smoking the inside tire, just staying flat out floored. His GTR, he had an R34, and he just got it steered, and the car is basically and it's sliding over. Like that car, if it was tuned, should be gripping and pulling away from me through that section. Not just smoking the front tire. And it's like, for 1, too much power. For 2, not tuned right. And then for 3, it's like, get out of that behemoth and get in some, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all these that we've been doing, they be having whatever mods. My cars literally just have brakes, suspension, tires, and exhaust. I have all of those cars I've got on that game tuned. The most
you got to remember though, you got one thing they don't got. You got those hours, man. You know. So they got it. They got to compensate with the power where like it gets like it's cool to get in the car. You're like, and you're fucking like you're holding on, but at the same time, like to have a again mid-level turbo suspension. And then you save a lot of money, and then like I'm like you're throwing all the money to a car like you're gonna drive that shit for the whole title. Like nah, dude, you're gonna drive that shit like 30 miles and then park that bitch and get something else. So like I did that shit before, putting all this money in this shit. It's like, and I'm like I don't even drive that shit no more. Like you know what I mean?
I love that about it. It's like the game has provided just what I think I wanted.
Yeah.
Man. And I don't think I have a car. I do have 1 or 2 because they required me to do it through the menu.
Yeah.
Was just like too tough because I have the game on hard. And when you go and see those three fucking jalapenos for the spicy level of those,
you got to bring it up. Yeah,
you got to bring the ruckus. So I got Evo that's like full powered, but those are literally cars that I will never use.
Right.
I just use them for that event. But I like not being able to reel anybody in, and I gotta fight to the last lap because it's more accomplishment, it's more fulfillment. Where I'm like, dude, I drove the fuck out of this car.
Oh yeah, and I know you know that mode too. When you like, oh shit, I gotta really switch. And when you switch it on, you make no mistakes. It's like weird how that works. When you're just like, I got fucking PP and everything, and you start fucking up because you just like I messed up before. I spun out right before they finished one time at Trial Mountain. Like I had the lead, but I only had like a 2-second lead, and I just fuck. I'm like, dude, I did that turn like 4 times, previously, perfect. Yeah, I fucked that up. I went I fucking went. I hit the damn bump and it shot me off, spun out right there, and then I got banged by the computer. It was no way to recover, and I ended up finishing fourth. So it was like,
bro, those are the heartbreakers.
yeah,
When you work and it's like,
yeah, fuck up one time. But hey man, yeah, and then like on the Tokyo joint, the East Ring one, I was doing one with the GTR, and I made a mistake, and I did lower the power. I lowered it down to 400 horsepower, but I still had the other mods. I just took the power away, but I still had the weight. I still, of course, you can't take that away. I still had the clutch and everything tuned. So it was, yeah, it was less power, but it was still quick. So, but at the same time, I didn't just run through them like that. I had to catch up, draft, go around, catch up, draft, go around. So it took about 3 laps to get up to like 4th place. And then when I got to 4th place, it was 2 laps. I was in 3rd place. And then I got up to, I got up to first, but my fucking gearing was set for Tsukuba. And yeah, so that dude he blew by me like I was standing still. And I'm like, oh shit. So I just got right in this draft. I seen him coming. I heard him coming. Got in this draft. Got behind me. Then of course, the computer. No matter how I got it on the max, but they still break a little bit too quick. And I just fucking went no brakes, dude, on chicane. And I didn't hit him. I didn't hit nothing. But I pulled away. I just pulled away, and I'm like, I cannot fuck up because if I do, he's on my ass on the straightaway, man.
Bro, that race I sent you.
Oh yeah.
That AI Sophie bitch, she goes psycho with me on our challenges. So for y'all that are out there that are playing Gran Turismo now, if you want a spicy little race, you think you're a good tuner and you got your cars tuned good, you can set the race, a custom race, 20 cars, do quite a few laps, do enough laps that it's really a challenge. Set the AI on professional, set the cars, don't do BOP, don't do anything. Go to your garage and do the lineup. The best way to do this is put yourself about 16th or 15th from standing start. Put fast fucking cars right behind you. Then put your choice cars that you would always go to in the group of cars. Put those guys in the front pack. Put some fair to middling dudes right in front of you and go for it with the AI set on professional. They, on a track like Tsukuba, yeah, everybody's going to bunch up on the first turn.
Right.
But find your way outside of that. And if you could break clear for daylight, you're not going to get up in the front top 10 or so, but you will have some of the best racing ever. And it's like, it takes like 2 laps for Sophie to set in, see what you're doing, and adjust.
There we go.
If you have like,
that's the one you sent right there, right?
Yeah, go forward to the replay, like go about 4 minutes in or so. This NSX, I'm in an MR2 with like 250 or 260 horsepower.
And pop-ups.
It's already an inferior car compared to the NSX. And this NSX is a axe murderer, and he tried to show me many a times. But you get around and you get in the mix, and man, it got to the point. Now these are all my cars.
I gotta build one of those. Oh damn! You got your whole garage out there?
Dog, I got.
Dude, that's fucking. That's like having like 20 kids. Like, oh fuck, man.
Yeah, I got so
that's crazy.
Cars on the game, and all of them are mainly exhaust intake, cams, maybe, all suspension, brakes. Some got weight, some are wheels. You know what I'm saying? It's just different things. Whatever makes that chassis feel really good. So but there's no, yeah, it does look great, don't it? There's no big power mods at all on none of them. Except for those Corollas. Those Corollas have built engines. But that's generally it. So I have an NSX with exhaust intake and header. That yellow NSX is like 330-something horsepower. That MR2 is only 261. It cannot even hang. But if you make yourself big enough, and I love what the AI does. The AI will flash you with the high beams on some get out my way shit. It's like they do a whole lot of realistic stuff, and it really makes it challenging. So Yeah, that MR2 just got suspension, aero, and brakes.
So
That's
you
all it
need,
has,
yeah.
dude. That's really all you need. Yeah, because if the car can handle, it's more than enough
Yeah,
power to kind of hold, but it ain't like
because that's
fast.
what like for see your S2000. I actually tuned. I got a regular S2000, and I actually tuned it where it's faster than my Muse S2000. Which,
Oh, really?
yeah, it's like I didn't really put too much tuning into Muse. I just drove it, but yeah, I tuned it up. I didn't max it out, but I just added the mid level because I got a Turbo S2000 myself, and the Muse S2000
Yeah.
is turbo. So I added the mid-level turbo because everybody just tried it. Like I know what you're saying. Everybody, it is annoying when dudes just go to the top shelf, and it's like you got it's emulation of life, and it's like ain't too many people that can just buy top shelf everything. You know what I mean? I don't personally. I never owned a sequential gearbox. It's just like right now is not the time for it. So it's just that's dope, man. And then like that, I took the Toyota the SFR, which is a concept car. I took that in a group and was like murdering people, dude. And that thing only has 380 horsepower.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's funny? The car that's out front is a stock RX-8 with exhaust suspension, and it's lightened.
Yeah,
it's my track car, and it's super funny that it gets out front and just jams because it handles so good.
Right.
Like these are my tunes. If you want to see if your tune works, let the AI drive it. If it's bad, they're going to be spinning out and killing themselves. If it's be good, they're gonna pressure the shit out of you. And so part of what the challenge is for you to not take the cream of the crop car.
Right.
For you to take a car, because this is the first time I drove that car. For you to take a car that you think is gonna be good, but not the best, and really fight your way through the field with it. And go for it.
Because there's a lot of cars on a game where the dudes like they kind of go for they default to the same ones, but there's like a lot. Europe has a lot of cars that people like the Alpine, that 110. Mm-hmm. That bitch is nice, man. Like, but people like they are. Let me get the NSX. Let me get the default Hot Boy cars because we all got them. But there's a lot that one. It's that one looks like a supercar, but it's like the Rascal or something like that. And I posted up, and it was like it looks like an LMP car, and it
baby LMP.
Yeah, that motherfucker, dude, and that thing is funny as shit, dude.
Just see how it drives.
That KTM is not a bad one either.
Oh shit, man, TC, you in here?
I haven't. Yeah, TC's in here. I haven't driven the KTM yet because it makes you you're able to find out and figure out how to make these cars go faster without really tuning them and stuff. And it's like you know what's funny, Donnie, like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, last week actually, GMB is a GT4 team in the Pirelli World Challenge or whatever, right? All the GT4 guys for Pirelli World Challenge were testing at Sonoma Raceway. We show up there for our Wednesday night drift things, and these cars are all over the place, looking amazing, just looking sick. But my homeboys of VR Mobile Racing had their trailer, which has 2 sim rigs in it, and it's set up on Project Cars base, right. Project Cars 2 or whatever, right? So we asked the GMB dudes, hey, come over here, check this out, get on it and whatever. Their engineer and crew chief and driver came over there. They tuned the car and set it up and everything, and they started, I asked them like what the real lap times they were doing at the track, and their real lap times, they said was 1:47 something. And they were literally doing 1:47 something.
Right. ATC your camera on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure what the hell's going on, man. It might be some Saudi shit, man, blocking you out. I can see your face again, man.
Yeah, but dude, I got on there, and I don't know if it's just my ultra familiarity with how sim shit goes, but I ran a 140 050, and they're looking like, what the hell? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not saying I can go jump in their car and do it, but it's just like, because I only know how to try to go as fast as I possibly can.
Right.
That's all I know. Whatever the game and the condition of the game and the car lets me do, they tuned the car. That's how the car was. I was able to jump down to a 140, and I was like, whoa, shit, that was kind of tight. You know what I mean? But I love this shit that Gran Turismo
Man,
offers.
I just really knock it up to dudes who the complainers of the world, like everybody who's saying like this, like something's wrong. I wouldn't want to meet you in person. I'm like, bro, the visuals, like what I experienced from a guy that has track time, like the shit is good. I'm not saying it's always room for improvement, but like, bro, like I've only had like joy when I play the game. And when I got a game, like I'm on a Tokyo stage, and like you get situations where you have to drive, like you can't just mail it in. You can't just, you know what I mean? I did that WTC 600. I took, I finished second twice, and then I had to it kind of made you, I had to go in there and I had to fucking add nitrous to the car, man, like just to catch up. And I did a little bit of tuning, but it was a Group 3 car, which, I mean, honestly, those are kind of really dope out the box. You don't really got to fuck with them too much. But the gearing, you do have to do that for the track. And, yeah, man, like the one Nürburgring one, man, after 6 times, I just took second. I'm like, man, I after doing that fucking thing and then fucking up and doing the whole track and then entering the thing, after 6 times, I'm like, I got up to that Mustang. I passed the yellow Mustang. And then I'm like, all right, I'm on track. And then I get into that group. I had to go into the grass, 2 wheels off to get around that group. Because I noticed if I hang around and try to pick them off, that first, second, and fourth car, they're fucking gone. Mm-hmm. They're way out. You're not going to catch them. So I kept getting fourth. Right. And then I got third. Then I got second. I'm like, dude, I'm good for now. And I had to move on, man. So this is the first GT where I've actually like didn't like, you know, finish everything, all the things with gold. And there's only one event I haven't finished with gold, but it's like, dude, this shit's just fucking difficult, and you really got to dial it in, man.
Right.
Well, yeah, TC, because TC's been out of the loop for like the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks of the game, man. So TC, how's your level so far, and how's the like, what have you been up to, man, in the game?
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that, because the WTA 600, that's where I'm at right now.
You moving quick? You moving pretty quick then, man. I mean, not quick, but that's fucking.
I think on the menu, I'm at I think I'm at 31 now.
31.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So it's.
But right now I'm just I'm trying to do the circuit experience.
Go to get the cash.
And I'm trying it on Laguna Seca. So you're driving a GR4 Viper, and I'm like, it's a pain in the ass, but I did just finally get gold on Sector 1. So, I'm just,
Lex went into it. You gotta do the Suchiya shit, getting bored up front, so you start drifting and shit right there.
No, dude. I was getting pressured. If you see the NSX, he's flashed me with his high beams.
Back. I looked at back. I seen you sideways. Yeah, dude.
I was being pressured. I looked in my rearview mirror because he's flashing me, and I could see his lights in my interior. And I fucked around and went in too high.
Yeah.
The car started sideways, so I said, "No!"
Yeah.
I had to balance
see
that throttle.
That's where the drifting shit right there. Like that's where, like, even in real life, a lot of guys in real life, if that happened in real life, what would guys do, Lex, in real life?
They're gonna slap and go off the other way.
They're gonna yank that bitch instead of just staying in it. Instead of like this. I actually driven Tsukubas now. That's cool to say, but right in that point, I went sideways in the last corner like that, and I just like a light counter stir and just fucking throttle in, let off, and then you straighten up instead of like trying to react too fast.
You notice the steering?
Yeah, it was smooth.
It was just dial it. Then when it went too far, it was just like, all right, floor this shit. Yeah. And the car forward. But
man. It's again, man. You gotta. Yeah, dude. I'm just happy to be alive right now and play the game, and
I know, right?
And you know, everybody. I'm like, bro, it's motherfuckers getting bombed right now. You motherfuckers are talking about. I mean, like the credit shit. One thing I'll say in that group we got right there, ain't nobody in that group was like, oh man, fuck, like, dude, we're all older dudes, and it's like now they unlock the thing. So now I'm like, I feel bad for Kazunori, man, because these motherfuckers done guilting him into like giving out money, and I'm like, dude, you did what?
That's everybody worried about getting money and getting fucking
there
cars.
Was no the game makes it for you.
Right. Do you understand that I got $10 million right now, right?
Right.
I can't go buy a Carrera GT. I need an invite to buy that car.
Yeah.
I had it, and I did, but I wasn't interested in buying it. I had the invite for that.
Yeah, I've had invites, but it's like I don't want a Bugatti. I don't want it. Don't give a shit. I don't care about the Lamborghini Zagato. Don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I want to use these real cars that I really do like. Like I got all the McLarens and all that other shit because Curtis and them stay using those super fast cars.
I get on. I poke Curtis every time, man. He's that. Yeah, I'm like, bro, like you that supercar boy, man.
Yeah, he's a supercar boy. But you see what happens when I go race against fools if we're in like light cars. Yo, go ahead and use a Corvette. We had a Corvette race that one day. They all went and had C7 ZR1s. I had a C6 Z06. Fucking like a 13-second gap on everybody.
Yeah.
Mashing. You know, and it's just like, I like drivers.
So speaking on that, man, because I got a video rolling in the background, and TC's here. We could chime in on it too, man. This the GR, you're seeing shit go backwards but forward at the same time, where they're doing more with less. They're doing 300 horsepower with a 3-cylinder car, which is not unheard of here in Japan because 3 cylinders is a thing over here. But
right.
This car right here, man, it's like I'll drive one, but I don't care to own one. But it's cool to see the manufacturers like, hey man, let's give these motherfuckers what they're making. Like this car out the box, you don't have to do shit to it, but put gas in it.
Yeah,
nothing.
I love.
And that's what I like the fact that Toyota's trying to expand.
Well, they had Nissan push them there with the Z.
I still have a personal gripe with it, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah, tell us why you mad, son.
I mean, it's like my personal gripe is I like that they're expanding, but it's like I feel like Toyota didn't put this type of effort when it came to the GR Super, and that's just me. That's just a little. I mean, because it's like, okay, I like the technology. I like the fact that they're doing this, but I'm like, what? I mean,
you just nailed it right there, TC. The reason why is because they got that backlash from the Super. Instead of like saving face and like going back and redesigning it and all that stuff, and then the whole BMW stuff, they've got like the streets are speaking, and the thing about it now is it's instant. It's like it's instant. Like there's no more waiting for people to get, like, it's instant. People gonna tell you how they feel within the same 5 minutes of the release. Fuck that, fuck this, and you know what I mean, it's instant. It's just like the Kazunori, like no other GT before this, going back to GT, the Kazunori had to fucking come online and give a statement about apologizing for taking fucking their time to make this game, and these fucking, you know, these Karens out there, whatever fuck you want to call them, snowflakes or whatever, online crying so much so that they gave us more money. They gave us $1 million. They had to roll back and rechange things. Not to even mention the earthquake shit happened the night before the update and everything. And it's like I personally don't like that, but at the same time, in some instances with the car thing, those developers seen that shit with the Super, and this is what the results are right here with this GR Corolla, man.
Right.
I really like that we get back to the all-track and GT4 days. Those cars were legendary, man. Yeah. I hated when the Corolla, or I'm sorry, not Corolla, but when the Celicas turned into that
the girl car?
XY project. Remember the XYR?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Good for extremely young racer. And it was turned into the 99 Celica. And it was just like
trash.
It's front wheel drive. It looked kind of cool, but we were ready for the evolution of Celicas, right? We were ready for the rally car WRC of Celicas. They gave us, well, they didn't give us that. It was international. The Corolla, that was the WRC version, the Bubble Eye Corolla 99,
right.
2000, the hatchback all-wheel drive turbo joint, but they removed it from our market. So American market may not have been a hot hatch market, may not have been a turbo 4-cylinder market, but like shit, we are though. We wanted those cars, and even though this is a 3-cylinder and everything, I'm glad we're getting a turbo performance like little sports car. That's what reinvigorates the market, right? If you get that car and you try to put big power in it to do freeway pulls, you're a fucking bozo.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, Lex, but it's something you mentioned, like that time frame, that pretty much I would say that 99 to about 2005, you'll notice that with certain cars, how they all regressed. If you think of the RX, when the RX-7 left, the RX-8 came, and it was nowhere near as good as the 7. Same with the 3Z. It was nowhere near as good as the Z32.
Right. Yeah, because all those came right on the back end. The 03 was the era of the watered down. Hey, we're bringing back a name that you're familiar with, but it ain't quite
all big and boaty and shit. And also you got, and for the guys who don't keep up like we do, we know what it is. Remember, you notice everything between that one era took the teardrop shape because of the safety. So the Audis, the Zs, the Z was one of the first ones that was popping with the Z33. They had that teardrop shape, and everything started. You notice Sunfire came out. Well, not Sunfire, but that one LS powered Solus Reese Milling joint.
It was the GXP,
which I want one. I want a Solstice, and I want a SRT 4.
You know how they developed Solstice, right?
Nah, what's that?
Solstice around being a Corvette. It was developed with a V8 in
Got you.
Then they pulled that out and put the 4 turbo.
Got you. Yeah, because I know I know one of them had an LS in it.
Yeah. They had the GXP concept joint, but yeah, it was just a baby Corvette.
Right.
But then again, that's like the Cayman. Those cars the Cayman would be faster than the 911 if they really put a proper engine in it. That Solstice would have been faster than any Corvette if they did put the LS2 or LS3 in it at that point in time. They just like, nah, we're not going to mess with those nameplates. We're going to pull it out, which is impressive that Porsche is now saying, fuck it. GT4 Cayman. That thing is an insane animal.
Right.
It's fast.
Hey, check this out real quick, because I kind of like I honestly, this is the first time I looked at the car, man. I just been busy on everything I've seen, which can ripping on it. One thing I like about this car, just looking at that bay from a mechanic's aspect, is not fucking wizardry. It's a cover,
right? And
it looks like if I popped the hood on TC's RX-7. I mean RX-7, but there's no engine there right now. My bad, TC. But on his Evo, it's like. It's not like that super. What I seen that super engine is just like veins and fucking hoses and like, nah, dude. I'm gonna charge you $3,000 to take that engine out. It's like,
but you gotta, it has to make sense to kids, right?
Yeah.
If my son pops that hood, like say he works up and gets that car,
not
or when he gets it, and he pops that hood. When he looks at it, he's gonna say, "All right, what can I identify? Those are spark plugs,
injectors.
Well, spark plugs. Those are coil packs right there. Spark plugs are there. There's the fuel rail.
Idle regulator, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna start identifying shit, and he's gonna be like, okay, I know what this is. No, okay, there's my exhaust manifold. There's a turbo there. Oh, I got the. Oh shit, it has this. It has that stock. He's gonna see things that he's gonna identify and recognize, and it's not intimidating to work on. You fucking have. I forget how many vacuum lines are under the hood of M4s and any of those BMW.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like we're not giving the rat's nest a pass, because that is a thing. But you take it out and you move on with life and everything. But and it's still the rat's nest on a 13 is under. You don't see it. You see like 4 hoses, but you look down like, oh fuck, it's a rat's nest. That's why they give it that name. But it's not like right in your face, and that's why they had this big ass ugly cover on like the new cars, because it covers up all that ugly shit. You take it off, it looks like you take off Predator's mask and shit. He looks cool with the mask on. You take that shit off, it's like, nah, dude, ugly as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, man, it's just.
I was never like I say I know like the BM, like that BMWs, like that B58. It looks, I don't say, don't get me wrong, it's proven, it's capable and all that, But man, I just feel sorry for when they got to pay maintenance for that shit. Cause
No,
the way,
well, yeah, I gotta make a living though, man.
yeah, I know. well, I understand that. No, but
Yeah.
it's just like when I seen the design of it and how the cam gears and everything were in the back of the engine.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, no, that's
I
that.
was like,
Yeah, they do like some wild shit, man. Like Alex, you still there?
Yep.
All right, cool. Yeah, they do some shit like somebody posted up. It's been some guys will know like the American like one car where they fucking start is inside the goddamn bell housing of the transmission. It's like who the fuck would like that start is never gonna go out, or some of the like the one you see is under the manifold, so you got to take the manifold off and get to the starter there. So the engineers don't. We know that TCU worked around the aircraft, so engineers don't really give a fuck about the maintainers, and it's like let's put this shit upside downward to the 90-degree angle, so you got to look upside downwards in the cockpit while you're trying to change out the sensor in the F-16. It's like, all right, dude, just put it right side up, or a little access door. So engineers don't, but I think they do that shit. They're paid to like, hey man, make this shit difficult so we can run it up at Toyota dealership. That shit is a scratch my back, I scratch your back. It's that type shit. Same thing with the houses in Japan. Their fucking insulation sucks because they work with the heating companies. You know what I mean? So that's on purpose, man. The richer people go into their house and every room will be warm. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where the industry's there. But like TC said, man, I do like the it seemed like they made up for all the bashing they got from the Supra, and then like the Z out the box is dope, and it's like they're going back, but the price in it was $32K for this car. I looked at the MSRP.
Well, I think I know in Japan it's up to 60 right now.
Holy fuck.
6 million yen.
Right here saying starting at 32, so it's already fuck that, dude. So it's like you're fucked. So it's like what you spend that $32K on a RX-7, or you save your money and it's like it's no longer affordable anymore, man. It's on all
problem is those GRs are already sold out.
Right.
There's no that's gonna get them out here.
Right.
The people they've already bought them. Some guy was just saying he kept asking the dealership about it. Kept asking them. They were like, "We don't know nothing about it. We don't know nothing
we just
about
like,
it."
nah, dude, you ain't qualified. You ain't qualified.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was.
He didn't want to tell him like you ain't qualified to talk to me, son.
Yeah, but and then he said when the information dropped, they said, "Oh yeah, all the allocations are already spoken for."
Yeah.
He's like, "Just was asking y'all last week," but that's what's going on. Ain't nobody gonna get that damn car.
Yeah, and it sucks.
Well,
it sucks.
I would say don't forget the inflation with it too, because dealers gonna get their cut.
Right.
Well, now, yeah, because used car market has gone up like 30 grand out here.
Yep.
I don't care if you're going to buy a Yukon, a 2013 Yukon, it's going to be 80 grand. So not only were they already doing that with the Supras, they saw that with the C8 Vets. It's just people want shit. People are really spending their hard-earned money, $1 million on a sticker or something like that.
So,
go ahead.
No, go finish your thought, man.
Yeah, and it's like these things. Look at the Supras are getting traded in because people spent so much money for them, right? And they're not getting the amount of car that they should for the price that they paid.
Right.
Now, if they got it for 30 or 40 grand, yeah, that's a nice car. I feel great. You spent 80 or 90. Some dude spent 110 on those cars. That ain't 110,000 worth of car. You can go get a used McLaren, old MP412C for a round.
I was just talking to Zach on a group about. We were just talking about. I'm like, dude, we were talking about the same exact thing. Where it's like, dude, am I gonna take? And we're not knocking the cars. We still, again, the FD. You look at it. You put the FD in front of somebody who don't know cars. They'll say that's a 2015 car. Like, no, that's a 95. It just looks that fucking cool because it was made timeless. It was like hip hop in the 90s. We still say it, timeless music. Timeless. We know 90s style hip hop, but we know when you play the trap shit 30 years from now, it's not gonna hold that same weight as Rakim or insert whoever you want to insert from the 80s and 90s. It's just not gonna hold that weight. You got the J. Cole's, Kendricks, and a couple other guys that's gonna be able to have that catalog that's gonna go that far. But the rest of these guys, 1 or 2 years, and we don't know who the fuck they are. Fetty Wap, where is he at? You know what I mean? I know he ride bikes. That's why I call him out. He's in a bike. So, it's with the car shit, man. It's they lost the most of us because we got enough money to build our own shit. You know what I'm saying? Versus, you know what I mean, TC, if you take like, 30, 40, 50K to buy this car, or you can spend a fraction of that parts and labor on the car you already own and then still have another 15, 20K left over. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are you going to do? So
Exactly.
yeah, man, I think we see it and we respect it. But for me, I'm like, if I get to drive one, cool, but I don't want one.
And you know what? That's funny because my girlfriend was asking me about, like, are you gonna when you come here, are you gonna buy a new car or something like that? I'm like, nah, give me something old.
Right.
Old is, for me, old is gold.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, because and like I said, that I think that late 80s, 90s, and 2000s, man, it's like you couldn't catch that much lightning in a bottle a second time ever.
Nah. Dude, the 90s, man, from we all grew we grew up in that era, man. So it's a lot of shit happened in those 10 years, man. Cars and sports and all types of shit happened, man. It was like the perfect balance of technology without being too much technology, where we're at right now, where it's too much access to people. And then, like, you can't keep shit secret now. It was that perfect timing, man, where like when people put something in a magazine or it came out, it was really like, oh fuck. But we already knew about the GR shit coming out. It's not like it was a shock or surprise. It just came out. And then when they put all the specs out, man, so it's not really as rewarding as it makes sense, man. Like, I mean, even going to McDonald's back in the day was a different thing. Now they go to the McDonald's, they're all vegan looking and shit. No fucking no Cookie Monsters or whatever the fuck. Burglars not over there. It's like I feel bad for the kids because they don't know how our McDonald's was compared to their bland ass Amazon corporate looking McDonald's and shit. You know what I mean? That's a weird analogy, but you know what I'm trying to say is like it's the guys now, man.
It was what?
Yeah.
Donnie, I think what you're trying to say is basically it was more pure.
Yeah.
It was more pure. It was more unfiltered. And it was just like
it was raw, man.
Yeah, and it was just right.
Yeah.
It was like if things would have stayed like that, it would have been great, man.
Yeah. So like somebody, because I guess Paul was on WitchCon, which I didn't see, but somebody put out a thing. It was like 1998 wrestling. It was 100 hours. It said it said something like 20,000 crotch jesters, 540 middle fingers, and like 23,000 obscene words, all in 100 hours of wrestling between WWF, ECW, and WWC. And I know y'all was there. I know I was. I remember that time point when Raw and WitchCon, when we didn't have picture in picture, I was swapping back and forth between fucking Nitro and Raw, man. And that shit was like it was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna you missed some shit, and you're like, fuck, man. Then I got 2 TVs at one point. So I had then the picture in picture came out like around 98, 99 to like to the known common folks. Yeah.
When was that? When Booker T called?
Yeah. He was, I just watched that shit when he called Hulk Hogan. He was like, "I'm coming for you, nigga."
I remember that shit.
And then Vincent, I didn't know Vincent Mann did that shit though too.
Did something different.
Yeah. And Booker T was like, "I know he did this and say that."
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm coming for you, nigga."
Yeah, but that was on. I remember watching that and like, wait.
Yeah, dude.
That shit.
Yeah, and me and Gene was like fucking as dope as like, okay, well we go to Stevie Ray now. It's like, shit. Dude, that shit was funny as fuck, man. Because it's like that shit was like, there was no delays. That shit was like real. And
that's why they added the 5-second delay, not because of that, but radio and they just started Janet Jackson's nipple popping out. Yeah. Well, is the reason we have the 5-second delay now, and that was in like the 2000s. Yeah. So they were filming. If it was live, it was really live.
Yeah, we got to speak on it because we, I don't care about it, but it just the whole what's you guys is because I've heard, I haven't talked to nobody about this first time. They rocking Smith guy, which both I respect them in their own regards. But wish y'all feeling on that and everything. I know TC, I'll let you go last, man, because I know you get fired up about shit like that and the jaded shit and all that other stuff, man.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna throw out a solid one, a solid hot take. We all know the embarrassment Jada's been putting Will through. We all know the demon shit that she's been doing.
Yeah.
And Max was just on edge. He laughed at it. She gave him a look. And because he's a simp for her,
Tupac,
we can't
nigga.
say that. Yeah.
What it is.
He's always, even in his book, he said he's always felt like a coward. He's always felt not hood enough because Jada's a Baltimore broad that was really outside. And he got that look from her, and he needs that approval from her because he's been doing everything to try to get in her greatest favor.
Man, that shit's fucking weird.
That he felt he could do that was manly enough at that point was to go slap the shit out his homeboy, which is whack as fuck.
Yeah, that was because they don't in the level they both are that they cross paths all the time, man, and like that was go ahead, TC.
So many pictures hanging together, yo.
If it was me, I mean, knowing everything that happened before that slap, anybody with sense would have dropped her already. Anybody with sense would have been like, cut your losses. I don't care. Pay the alimony, pay whatever. Cut your losses, man. Because now he done probably lost so much money.
Oh, yeah.
Just from
like Netflix, everything, yeah.
Yeah. And my thing is, bruh, no matter how much money you make and what you do, I learned this lesson actually in Masawa. No matter what you do, if a woman like you, she gonna like you.
Yeah.
If she like you, no matter what the fuck you do, she gonna, she ain't feeling you.
Yeah, because that's how you get those. When you get those chick, you were here in Masawa TC, and you see like, how the fuck's that chick? Like, you see some GI dudes with a badass Mexican chick. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, that dude must be funny or something because he ain't pretty.
The fortunate dynamic is we look at Will Smith with admiration, and we look at Jada like, oh, she's famous, right? What the point is, Will chose, but Jada accepted.
That's true.
Dope.
His offer to be in a relationship. Will chose her as his old lady, right? And then in his book, he's so determined to not let the relationship fail, he's allowed it to be what it's become. Smashing his son's homeboy. She's, you know what I'm saying? Letting all that in the world. And saying, oh, no, we never cheat on each other. We just have an understanding. Like, my man, you're bugging. You know what I mean?
I'll be damned. I'll be damned if I'm somebody trying to get up in my woman pants and stuff like that and allowing it. No.
But if you go back to the old table talk, he said, I was done with you. I wasn't fucking with you. I was through with you. We was never talking again. But for face value, for appearance, because he wants to appear squeaky clean, he was doing his thing, she was doing her thing. But because her hoes got out of pocket, then he had to, oh, hey, we're a great family. Did you ever notice before that, like let's just say the Jordan Woods thing, right? When Jordan Woods fell out with all the Kardashians, Will came to the rescue to help her out, right? Because of her parents that he had a good relationship with. But they all came together like they were a family, Jada and all them sitting in front of the camera, having at the red table talk. But Will was always in a garage somewhere. If y'all seen their house, they got 2 estates, it almost looks like. He don't never around them. He's cool off of them. But because all this happened and now their family's being exposed more, then he's trying to make it seem like he's more together with them now. But he spent the whole pandemic Away
that's some upper level shit, man. Like you go upstairs, I go to another house, motherfucker. Like
they literally the houses are built like boomerangs. It's 2 of them on the property. They're huge. He could be on one side, she could be on the other side. But they don't even be in the same realm, dog. It's like when they do try to do like public things for social media, they're in the same area. But it's very telling. He's like, I was over it, but now he has to put up appearances because they're trying to be more public.
Even before that shit, man. Like I don't. Us three, man. We see it, but it's not like we ain't the type of dudes that like our life depends on shit like that.
Yeah.
As far as what other people are doing who don't give a fuck about us, who don't know us, but it's like I kind of foresaw that shit happening because whenever people do that shit in the public, it's always everybody got some shit, man. It's always some dirt behind the fact and everything and behind the scenes or whatever and whatever, how that goes. So they kept painting them as like the power couple who they don't have any issue. I'm like, nah, dude. I don't give a fuck who Bezos, the richest dude in the fucking whatever the fuck, and his wife fucks off. Fucking Bill Gates, one of the richest guys in the thing, and his wife fucks. That right there tells you it ain't fucking money. It ain't only money is cool, but that ain't only it. It's other shit. That chick ain't probably come by that dude in like 5-6 years or more.
You seen Bezos trying to check what's his name? What's the actor Blood that was on Titanic? What's his name?
DiCaprio.
Leonardo. Bezos' bitch was eyeballing the shit out of Leo, bro.
Oh, I mean, come on, dude. Who? That's fucking Leo.
Bezos is like, hey, Leo, come get on my yacht. Let's sail in the middle of the ocean.
Nah.
The point is, he the richest man's, right?
Yep.
Leo will still peel your broad if he felt like it.
Yeah, because he not only has money, but he has the motherfucker got looks, the natural charisma. He don't gotta. He's an actor. He don't gotta like you. Remove the money from Bezos. I'm like he's like some bald head middle aged dude walking around. You know what I'm saying? It's not he don't have to try to do that. Leo don't gotta try to take your bitch. It just happens.
Yeah, and she chose for hard. She was eyeballing the shit out Blood.
Yeah. So
I'm saying,
yeah.
But the thing is, she doing all that stargazing while she married. All out of pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
All out of pocket. You don't. Come on, man. That disrespectful is all fuck, man. If you married, man.
Oh yeah, like I said, I don't know. That's the reason because TC, man. If you look at TC timeline, that dude, man, you be on it, man, with those memes you be sharing, man. And I be thinking like you gotta fuck the relationship. You got a girl and she's cool, but what it is, man. You see how other dudes move, and it's like, man, I think a lot of dudes out there make life more harder for them, and they just by choosing somebody that's. They're just they're for the wrong reasons, man. They're above them or whatever, or the chick that's high maintenance or whatever, and you end up, and then the whole shit about, my thing on the whole Will shit or whatever is he's working way too hard to maintain that squeaky clean image, man. Like he's working overtime. I'm like, bro, be you. And then like he was saying, I mean, I guess they saying like this, he's starting to, I guess, show his real self. It's like, man, it's too late now. You've already been typecast into that role for the rest of your life.
But he said years ago he be wanting to slap the shit out of niggas sometimes.
Yeah.
Years ago he wanted to be unruly.
Well, he did it. He did it at one time with a guy. It was like a friendly slap. It was like they were on a carpet.
He wanted to smack the shit out of dude, but he was shocked.
Yeah.
But he was trying to be the squeaky clean person. What we ended up seeing is the culmination of
all
everybody.
That shit.
Yeah.
Of how dude did him on the carpet, and he wanted to slap the shit out of dude, but he couldn't.
Yeah, like you said, that was all. Yeah, everybody who's seen that shit, man. There was like all the podcasts I watched too, where I knew it was like all that shit was like not just that. It wasn't that what he said. It was everything all at once came out in the open hand slap. And then like they did the thing after, and like people said everybody was right. Everybody pretty much everything he said was right. It's like A regular dude ain't going to slap a dude and go sit down. They're going to get escorted out, never invited back, no award, all that stuff. So after the fact, I know they said they took the award back. We already gave him the award. You can't take it back. He already won it. Whatever the fuck. Then it's like, you know what I mean? The Netflix thing, they was like, we're going to put a Netflix, whatever he had going on, they put a pause on it. So he lost millions of dollars, like in a matter of seconds.
And he lost millions of dollars for a female that is acting as if she.
And then she said she didn't want to fucking slap him. I just said,
yeah,
he need to fucking sign those papers right now.
Okay, like I said, dump that bitch. That's just me. Dump that bitch.
And it sucks because Jada is one of the fucking most beautiful. Like, I didn't realize when I was watching Gotham, I'm like, dude, why the fuck this chick look familiar? I'm like, oh, that's fucking Jada. Like, I didn't realize like that was Jada until like about 4 episodes in with Fish Mooney. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, dude, I'm like, this fucking bitch looks bad as who the fuck is this? Like, oh shit.
She's like an individual, but she's who she is.
Yeah.
That I just sent you, Donnie. You'll see if you pay attention a lot of her history, she's just a hood broad that happened to. She got typecast quite a few times as the hood broad, so she got famous being herself. So when she's being herself 100%, nobody's paying attention that this is a grimy broad, dude. Now, the point is,
bitch,
Pac, right?
You ain't got nothing else to offer, but
Pac was running the world, could have any woman he wanted.
Right.
Jada was friend zoned. All right. Pac was with Moni Love. Pac was with all the broads that he wanted to be with. Jada was his partner. But Pac died, and Jada knew that Will felt a certain way with that friendship that they had.
Yeah.
So she
like the dude, like the chick wearing the fucking hoodie from a dude 2 boyfriends ago. Is like, nah, burn that shit, son.
But the point is that she know they never beat. But the uncertainty of the dude, she's hanging that over his head as bait. Like, you know, we could have this or that. Like all of the sending Tupac letters, he been dead mad long, yo. Doing all that.
At least 20, let me see, about what, 23, 24 years now?
Yeah. But what that comes down to, Lex, man, and TC, you know this, man, that's when like, I can speak on this personally, man. My wife, who been married 6 years now, TC, you know her. We got 5 kids, you know, and this shit's still like, I mean, hey, the other day we fucking got into it. So there's no perfect thing or whatever. Most of it's communication, but our first like 2-3 weeks like dating, what the fuck was it? It was within that first like 2 months. I was going to MSP, which like I'm going tomorrow. I was going to MSP to do something, and like she didn't. I'm like, dude, this is my life here. You know, I do this. You know what I mean? You're cool and all, but I'm not going to stop that for you, right? So she put on her thing. I'm very disappointed. I was like, hey, take that shit down right now and we're fucking done. Straight up. Take that shit offline. And she took it off and never did it again. And this was, now we're 6 years, you know, married and everything, man. I'm like, if I didn't say nothing about it that time and let her keep doing that shit, that's what he get into, man. So like she's already far too gone. She's already famous. She got her own money. So she's a different type of woman. And she's pretty. You know what I mean? So some dumb dude is gonna link up with her just because it's Jada. So as soon as he bounces from her, somebody else is gonna roll back in. But he never set that fucking, hey man, stop that shit. And she probably wanted him to do that.
He did. No, he did.
Oh, he did?
If you read the book, yep.
Okay, I didn't read the book. I got an audio book because I can't read shit.
So check this out. Back in the day when he first started dating her, because he ran up on her and chose her. He broke up with his girl, or his girl broke up with him or something. They separated, and he rolled up on her and said, yo, who you dating? She's like, nobody. He's like, all right, you dating me now, right? So he just peeled her. He chose, she accepted. Now she accepted, and he's talking about a party. She was acting hella ghetto, and he like, yo, knock that shit off. And she was acting mad fucking ghetto, and he rolled up a piece of newspaper and smacked her in the face with it and was like, go to the kitchen. And he walked in the kitchen with her and was like, yo, knock that shit the fuck off. If he had to stay smashing down on her like that.
Yeah.
She's the type of woman that needs that, though.
Nah, we don't want to say that.
Yeah,
we don't
well,
want to say that.
You say that.
yeah.
I know
Getting everybody hit in the face with newspaper and shit.
For political purposes, she is not going to receive that. She doesn't deserve that.
If I could take like a pair of gloves, like slap her in the face and shit. Yeah.
But we got to remember that was in the 90s.
Yeah.
This is how things kind of moved around in the 90s. It was man shit, right? And if he had to stay stomping down, he probably would have, it would have either worked out to his favor or it wouldn't have. But the fact that he probably felt bad about doing that, like, damn, I just smacked her in the nose like she was a dog. And now she curled up for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
But she acted right, though, right? Now, it ain't right? It's not right, but she fell in line, unfortunately, at that point in time. But he backed off of that.
Yeah.
Her, and then we're at where we're at now.
Well, see, some women love that damn controversy. They love that drama and shit. Some people, they're like gluttons for the shit. I can't.
Hey, y'all keep talking. I got a fucking intruder in my lot, man.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, go clear the perimeter.
Okay. No,
you say that glutton.
Many of these bros, man, they love that drama. You know, it's like, man, they don't understand how detrimental that is to people's health, man. You come with all that drama, you arguing all the time, you ain't never happy. Like, nah, go fix your damn self, okay?
But dudes nowadays are too. Like, you see the shit with what's cuz name, the off rapping Blueface. You see Blueface and the little broad that he be messing with. Shorty be breaking in his house, stealing his cars, cutting herself, writing on his white walls in blood, all this wild shit. You know, she be on wild drugs. She be bugging out. And every time you think like, oh yeah, son done with her. Nope, he pop up with her again the next week. He called her on her, get her arrested, put her in jail, and then he bails her out and does all of this extra shit. So it's like, why in the fuck is it at this point in time, right? Where let's just say being men in a position, you've got a lot of variety to choose from, right? But dudes will stay with something that's popular and or good looking and or XXX whatever attribute, instead of like, yo, pack your shit and roll. And that it, like, from that last minute that conversation ended, you're out of here. No longer to be spoken to again. I don't care how many times you try to call me for private numbers, block numbers, other numbers, man, you're out of here. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff went away in the mid or early 2000s, I'd say the Cash Money era, when women started really taking over because they saw themselves being used as an asset and knew their value was held at a high esteem because men can have all the money, have all of the cars, have everything in the world, but they do need to have women around for that validation. So once that 2003-ish shit started happening, man, women been up since then, dude. They just been up. They've been able to act how they wanted to, dominate the relationships.
And that's the problem. Like for me, now I've been with my girl for about 5 years. So yeah, I've been with
honestly, man, I would man, well, where your page look, man, you be like fuck all the chicks, man, because you be like, man, who you be talking to when you post those memes, man?
I be talking. I ain't gonna lie, mad shit. I'm not gonna lie. I be calling out a lot of shit though. I just
like your page. I mean, I know it's not the fact, but it's funny because I know it ain't the fact. But your page is like one of those salty dudes who just been friend zoned for the last like 25 years from every chick they meet. And I'm like, man, I know that ain't the case, man. I'm like, man, you be on some shit sometimes on there, man.
Oh no, sometimes but I be like, but you know, it's ironic. I will speak on some experience. It's like, I remember I used to get friend zoned, and then once I started like really coming into my own, And it's like some of those would come back and be like, "Oh, I always liked you." No, you didn't, motherfucker.
Mm.
No, you didn't. Like, don't kick rocks. Like, don't kick rocks, homie. Kick rocks. I got better things.
Well, man,
but
you were here in Masawa, though, man. Like, we talked about that face to face. Is like, like we all these chicks in Masawa, because they're around these dudes on base, and that kind of correlates to everything else. Locations, they get pumped up so much and shit that when they think they're the shit. When if you took the hottest chick in Masawa and took them down to Tokyo, they'd be like a fucking gutter rat and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's the truth.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And that's I mean. And it was, you know what? And it was funny because to be honest, my girl was the one that really, man, she really calmed me down though. I'll be honest.
I don't know, man. You should be. You got one spicy meme a day on your Instagram, man.
Oh, not yeah. On Instagram, I talk like I said. I could be on this bad shit. I don't care. But a lot of it be the truth though. If a lot of guys agree with me, and I'm like, yeah, it is what it is, but. When it all said and done, I got my girl, man, and we good together, man. I'm happy with her, man. And to be honest, I had no intention at the time of even being with somebody because it was my first couple of trips going to Thailand,
right? And
I ain't got if y'all never been, I ain't got to tell y'all about how it's a grown man Disneyland,
Yeah. Well, speak on the have you had any encounters with the lady boys out there?
Oh, there's a few out there, but ain't nobody tried to. The thing is, ain't none of them tried to hit on me or anything like that.
Can you differentiate? Can you tell the difference between them, like them and the real chicks?
I
never been out there.
Most of them you can, but it's a couple times you will get fooled.
Oh, yeah.
You will, and but they'll tell you. A lot of them so comfortable in it, they'll let you know up front.
Well, they probably. I'm pretty sure there's been some murders out there.
But there are a lot of dudes that probably go there.
Oh yeah. I was gonna tell you. I was just about to say that there was a dude that I'm not gonna mention the company that I work for, but he always would end up magically with one of the lady boys. It's like, dude, that's what you like, and the other guys say, hey man, that's what you like, man, and he actually that dude ended up quitting because it got around and everything, and that he multiple times, like one time, all right, cool, everybody gets a pass the one time, but you always picking up the lady boys and getting them in the taxi with them, like, nah, dude, that's not a mistake, man. Like you're into that shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's, hey, you do your thing, bro. Ain't for me, but whatever.
Yeah, what you do. So that's why I think maybe for that culture, it's good that they do feel comfortable and say, "Hey, yo," just so that this is what's going down.
Yeah.
So when a dude,
my shit's bigger than yours.
Right. That proposition, then the ball gets thrown into that man's court where he's like, damn, I knew this was a possibility out here. Whatever, I'm with it. Or be like, cool, thank you. Thanks for the shout out, because I would hate to get back to the room and be put in this predicament. I appreciate you. Peace. And go find something else, right? It's always about the option of having an option, right? So that's what the biggest problem is with a lot of that culture that's going on here now, is a lot of people aren't given the option of understanding what they're involving themselves with.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people are being deceived.
Yeah, right. And then you get the dude that is like super homophobic, but he got caught slipping because he's a knee in the club and he brought something home that he had no idea. And maybe he was down with it and he did know.
Yeah,
but
trying to use it. Yeah.
And he didn't want his inner self to be exposed, and a lot of them are getting hurt. And I hate to see that, just because on human shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't want people getting hurt and fucked up because of whatever lifestyle that they're choosing. Everybody should be free to do what they want to do. But yeah, like one time I was a kid, man, we went to this club. It's called City Nights, and we would only go a certain night. I didn't know, I'm not a clubber, but everybody wanted to go on one night, and it was that type of party that night. And I'm standing in the line, and I'm
ladies' night, man.
It was a ladies'
yeah, it's like
but I'm looking and I'm in the line, and I'm like,
what the?
Look at the time. I'm like,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, did we show up early, or is it like? And the dude kind of saw me questioning what the hell going on. Me and a couple of my other homeboys.
He's like that thug in the wrong place, man.
Yeah, he did. That's the awareness. That was the cool lookout, right? He walked up. He said, y'all know what night this is, right? And I'm like, I have no clue, but because you just said something like that, and I'm standing here feeling uncomfortable, kind of looking like, oh, what's really going on? You just let me know what I needed to know. Cool, thank you. I stepped out of the line, and I hung out in the car.
Yeah.
And then my other boys, whatever they were into, I'm not saying that they were into whatever, but they went in there as party, and they came out, they said, man, there's some hoes in there. I bet it probably is.
Yeah.
I'm just not, I'm not gonna go in there just because that's not my type of scene. I'm not uncomfortable,
right?
Because we had a couple of homeboys in one of our old school groups. He was always a little eccentric, and then he was like, I'm gay, and we were like, oh, okay, cool. It didn't matter. Everybody still, he was super cool. It was cool, and like, you got to be an arrogant motherfucker to think that dude wants your butt out of every butt that's around. You might not be his type of time either, but it's just like to go in a mass group where we do know they do psychedelic drugs. There's alcohol. I come from the hood where there are some real feminine gangsters that will beat the shit out of you. They are feminine. They'll beat you the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't be in the environment.
Yeah.
Dog.
I think it was a video. What the fuck was the video? It was. I think you sent, like, we were talking about it before, and the dude was like, it was two. We used to call it two thugs. It was two gangster dudes arguing with each other, and then one dude was like, "Oh, we gonna put that out there or something." He fucking like went up to the dude and like kissed him and shit, and it was like a stalemate because like it was in front of his boys, and after that shit happened, it was just like he just accepted it right then and there, like I'm fucked.
Like a goddamn Boondock skit.
It was two dudes. Like, it was on you. It was one of the early day YouTube videos when YouTube was just starting to pop and everybody started getting the high-A cameras. And it was two, like, it's a video out there, man. Fuck, man. I gotta use it.
But see, I'm from an area that some of the most wild killings that was happening was because of those types of relationships. Yeah. There was some wild.
You gotta silence that shit.
That's what. Yeah, some of these dudes was wild gangsters, I'm talking about laying people down.
Yeah.
Got a few. Their gun go off, right? But it turned out a lot of them was in that type of lifestyle, bro. But they were killers, though, dude. So you know what I'm saying? I would like to know, you know what I mean? I just don't like to be involved in a very big, crazy confusion. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, when we encountered that, I said, oh, no, I'm cool. Not my type of scene. I'm cool. I'll chill here. Like, the car was parked there. So, we'll chill outside. I don't have to go in. It's not like I want to fully vacate. Like, oh, I can't be seen around this shit, man. I don't give a fuck. I'm me. You know what I'm saying? That is no question on what I am. But I'm not going to be inside involved with, like, even regular clubs. I don't be involved with people being drunk and high in general, period. Like, I'm not in the mix because if it get violent, then it get violent. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to be. There's been times in certain places people get really definitely get walked by and stabbed with needles, stuck with needles. No telling what's in them, on them, or the motive was, but people got stuck by shit. It's just a very high risk environment in San Francisco and shit like that, man. It's not the nightlife can be very testy. You know what I'm saying? You have to know where your safety is.
For TC, you can't say the gay word there in Florida, right? TC.
Well, I haven't been. I haven't been to Florida in like at least 3 years. But I don't even. Just the way Florida has become, I'm like old folks at this point. I'm like, when they in the house, I'm in the house. When the sun come out, I'm out. I didn't even want to club in America no more. That's how bad I've seen it. It's like the only time I club now is if I'm in a place like maybe Dubai or Bangkok, or if I'm in some major city like that, I don't mind.
Man, you're in all the places where the dudes go to cheat on their chicks, man.
Hey, man, hey, bro, and trust me, you wouldn't believe how much it go down.
Man,
you wouldn't believe.
Fucking man, come on, man. Like that's why. Well, I tell Shinobu, man, I was like, dude, once shit gets really popping, and I got I'm out the red zone, which I'm still in it, keeping it real. Once because I'm planning to go to the Philippines and everything, and she was like, oh, that's she came around base, so what she knows is Philippines is where you go to cheat on your wife when you're from a South. I'm like, nah, I could do that here. I could do that right in town. Like, if I want to do that, I'm going there to race and take care of business and shit. So I had to let her know, like, I'm like, look, man, like if we're gonna have a problem with this, you know what I'm saying, we might as well go ahead and call it off now, because I'm not a stay in the pocket type dude. I'm gonna go out and do what I gotta do. So she's now comfortable when I go to Tokyo. Her mom was like, what is he doing? I'm like, I'm taking cars down there to Yokohama and flipping a bitch and coming back. Like, that's the fuck I'm doing to make money. You know what I'm saying? So she's cool now. Her mom kind of, about 2 years ago, man, it kind of pissed me off because I didn't think she thought about me like that. But one of her friends came to stay there, and she was like decent looking. And she asked me for the friend to stay there. I didn't fucking ask her to stay there. And I had my room upstairs, which was next door to her room. And her mom was like, well, he's going upstairs. And I'm like, nah, I was always going upstairs to do emails and shit. Now she's here, I can't go upstairs. Like, fuck that. And so, I'm like, and for her to think about me like that, and I'm doing all this shit to make money for the family or whatever, that kind of pissed me off a little bit. But it's like, if you look at remember Japanese TV TC, it's like every other show is about adultery. Every other fucking show in Japan, Lex, is about straight up adultery, which means it's a real thing. They just turn their eye to it, and I told her, look, that whole separate bed shit, we ain't fucking doing it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't we ain't doing that, man, and everything.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. When I was in when I was in Masawa, like for a while before I started my working in the Middle East, man, I was dealing with a married woman, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was dealing with her. Her husband was treating her like shit. It was like one time he beat her ass. She had marks and all that. Came to the spot, because I guess the dude was abusive.
Yeah.
But man, but then come to find out years later, she wound up divorcing him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, for them, it's okay. I mean, it's like it's starting to happen more and more often. But my thing is, when I first discovered it, I had my whole dream shattered.
Yeah.
Because I was set on marrying a Japanese woman for the longest of time.
Yeah. Yeah, my bad, man. We're gonna turn this shit into like fucking Dr. Phil, man, but it's all good. We talked about cars in the beginning. So if you got this far in the podcast, welcome to Dr. Phil and everything. We talking about families and life and shit. But no, man, that shit, what I mean? Like you, man, we like I said, Lex, TC and our relationship pretty much go from Air Force, being in Masawa together and all that stuff. And he's also, a weird kind of customer in the shop, because he's a customer, but we're actually, he's one of the few guys where we're actually friends. Because I don't befriend all my customers and try to run, because that type of business lasts like 2 years and you go under because you don't get paid. But Yeah, man. Like, here and I heard a lot of stories, man. Since I've been here, how things go down and how people run things, and mostly because they get that most guys come here and think like they're all easy, which yeah, they kind of are, but but at the same time they're human too. They just can't. We don't speak the same language, but once you get into it and get things wrapped up, then it goes past, how good they look and all that stuff and what they can do. And then it becomes like, like people say, man, everybody want to get Beyonce, but Jay-Z's tired of her shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? That goes for every beautiful woman out there you see. There's some dude out there who don't want to fuck with her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's even if she's in a current relationship that's good, the past one might have been like not so good because they didn't match. And that's all, fights and everything. We watch fights UFC. Two of the badass fighters you think is gonna go, it ends up being a stalemate because they don't want to throw hands, and it'll be that weird matchup that you get a badass brawler because one of the guys feel like they don't gotta respect the guy's power, then you get that fight and the guy gets fucking caught and he's like, oh fuck, that dude actually got power, and you get one of those fights and everything. So it's relationships are the same way, cars are the same way. Some cars don't, believe it or not. I know why Lex don't like the FD because I can't fit in FD. Like, seriously.
The FD? There's one reason.
What's that?
The steering wheel is fixed.
Yeah. Every time I get in there, I go to real. I'm like, dude, that can't adjust the fucking column. So I got to have a release to get in that car. I'll put the seat back and slide into it.
No, like I get in it, I fit it in whatever. Like the RX-8. The RX-8 is it's almost at a stupid position, but when you put a bucket seat in it, then it's high.
Right.
The factory steering wheel can adjust lower, but it only goes up so high. The FD is just low.
Right.
And I find it to be the dumbest steering
they made for 5'8",
right?
5'4", 102 pound Japanese dudes, man.
It's very, and then also what I would want out of the car the FD doesn't do for me, the RX-8 does. Or like the FD is a very good handling car. The RX-8 is a very good handling car.
Yeah.
Right. The cool thing about the FD is that it does create power. It looks great and all the other things, but not for that price range. If I had bought one back when I was a kid, maybe I'd still have it. I'd have it refined, but it's just not that it of a car for me to really even get into. I don't care what it does. FC does everything that an FD will do. And I actually like the looks of an FC more than an FD. But then I've got the RX-8, and the RX-8, it provides me something different. Do I need it to be a powerhouse? No, because I can always go back to my FCs. So, it's just kind of, they're a dope car, and I've tried to really like them. Matter of fact, my dad loves them. He almost bought one a couple times. But the thing is just like, I don't know. You do have less interior space. We all know that a bucket seat gets put in there. There's only like 2 bucket seats that fit in without hitting the door cards.
Oh yeah.
There's all kind of dumb shit. It's all kind of dumb shit like that. It doesn't matter your size, right? Even TJ Hunt, he's got the smallest bucket that he can get, but when he closes the door, it hits the seat, moves the seat side. I'm so particular in that car. If that seat is over an inch because the door just pushed it, I'm super uncomfortable in that fucking car. I hate it. I hate being tilted sideways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I still think I'm gonna have fun with it once Donnie, me and Donnie finish it with mine. I think I'm still gonna have fun with it.
Yeah.
But I still got like I said, I still have my Evo, and I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I really haven't done no power adders. I think the only thing we've done is just what's the last thing we've done, Donnie? The suspension?
Yeah, suspension. That's pretty much suspension and some man. That's one thing now. But it's good to have this thing. But back when I first started, I could recall every job. But now it's like, fuck, bro. I've done so many things since the last time since that suspension, man. I got to look back at my archives and see what I did to it. But I know we did like plugs and oil and all that shit like that. But I gotta check it out.
What Evo do you have?
7.
Okay.
Well,
So yeah, you got.
Wait, man. Let's tell him how you got that Evo though, because you know what happened.
Oh
what,
my
what
God.
happened to your
Okay.
what happened to your last in the pursuit of chicks or whatever? What happened to the last one, man?
Okay. Tokyo Auto Salon 2016.
Yeah.
That I had bought off Allen. I bought his old Evo 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I was driving it, and then the day I went to I was going to go to Tokyo.
Man, you were determined, man.
I was on it was black ice caught me, and it was the first day I actually got the chance to drive it because I was working in the Middle East. I had just started. I lost that car in a day.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Fuck, I'm mad," but I still went because I still had a Toyota Chaser. So
yeah, this motherfucker got picked up by AAA, came back and then hopped in another car and left. And I got that car, by the way.
Actually, Garnett to pick me up from Hachinohe. I took
shit. Oh, yeah, another FD guy. And Garnett's fucking like 6'5", man. 200 something fucking, yeah. Big mother. His FD was fucking clean, though.
And Garnett took me back. And the next morning, I got my Chaser and I went down to Tokyo.
Yeah, man.
Now, 4 months later, I came back to Misawa. And I was talking to Alan, and he just happened to have the white Evo I have now on his lot. And I was like, how much? Actually, it was Lou, his partner, Lou. So I said, Lou, I see y'all got this. He's like, how much for it? He was like, I want to say, he said like 7,000, and I just so happened to have 1,000 in my pocket. So I said, because I was making a payment on the other Evo I wrecked, but he said, he had it for sale. I gave Lou that $1,000. I gave Lou that $1,000, and the car was already registered. So I pulled right off the lot with it.
Yeah, that was not. But then what the day later the engine blew in there or something like that.
Yeah, a day later.
Like, but that was you were on the way down. You were on the way back down to Tokyo, right?
Yeah, I was about to go down to Tokyo, and
hey man, you got I was supposed to have
I had an oil change, and the company that did it didn't put the oil filter back on.
Oh shit!
So I was driving, and then the whole engine just blew.
Yeah, man.
So I paid to get that done too. So I paid to get another engine. I'm like, okay, now fuck this. I ain't dealing with nobody. And then once you open your shop down there, I'm like, I ain't dealing with nobody outside of you up there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like you said, like it's always been like, you know, right now one thing we're dealing with, and we are on my third fucking broker for this thing. One guy got fired and banished from the place where I got the thing from because he was taking there's some arrow shit. He was taking the money he was not sending his shit out, which we know that happens all the time on the Facebook groups and the Craigslist and whatever else. People get the payment. That's why you don't supposed to pay like, you know, fucking by friends and shit unless y'all are fucking friends, because you're not covered by PayPal, which PayPal I got my own beef with them with some other shit. But yeah, man, like, you know, now, you know, they sent the shit out and then now it's in the fucking this shuffle bullshit, man. So yeah, man, I got shit that I bought for my cars personally back in last fucking this time last year. I still ain't get yet, and I'm not. It's like I'm busy with customer cars, so it's honestly not on my mind. But now I think about, oh fuck, I got this part out. I know Lex, you know, he's slow on the bike parts coming in, and like, you know, that shit's becoming like it's becoming like normalcy, and I don't stand for that shit, man. So yeah, that's one thing now. I'm dealing with companies like, you know, who got shit, and when my system works good because I'm like, hey man, do y'all got this in stock before I order? And then I've had two companies tell me yes, and then I order it. Oh my god, my bad. We didn't, like, bitch, you lied. You knew the stock before I ordered it, and then go ahead and cancel that shit. Send me the money back. So they try to do, because most people, because honestly it happens too. After you order it, you don't want to go through the whole getting money sent back and the restocking fees. So you just let that shit ride out, and that's what a lot of companies are doing now. And now I gotta tell dudes like, hey man, I don't fucking, if I tell you it's gonna be here this week and it ain't, I've already ordered it. That's not my fucking problem, man. So kind of been going through that a little bit with some people, not TC, but some other people out there who don't really know me, and they think I'm like, nah, bro, I don't play with your money. I don't get my money played with, and I don't fucking play with my time, man. So it's been one of those things with the Corona shit. My wife, she didn't understand why I got kind of mad at her because she was excited about this new fucking Corona shit. I'm like, dude, this shit needs to be fucking done. It don't need to be fucking like, oh, it's normal. Let's get the latest shot like it's an update for GT7 and shit. Like, nah, dude, I don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? So we're in that shit right now, and it is going down, man. So we'll see what's going to happen from this stuff, man, and hopefully hopefully I think this shit's going to be around till Biden gets out. To be honest, man.
What happened when I was just last month when I was in Thailand, I was getting ready to leave, and then they told me I had it, so I had to stay in Thailand an extra 10 days, and to come to find out, I did antigen tests like the very next day, right, and they found nothing.
But how much, with those places like Thailand, are they running it up because they're making like when you stay there, you got to get a hotel, you got to do this, so they're running that shit up, man. Like, oh, he got to stay here. All right, let's bill him for the hotel. Let's bill him for the test.
Well, see, here's the thing. The only thing they could bill me for was another test because
how much was that?
It was only like $100, like a little over $100.
Let's say 100. You only know about your case, but 100 times 500.
Oh yeah,
they doing that shit.
So the doctor approved me to stay with my girlfriend the whole time, and that's what I did. I stayed with my girl at her house, and for 10 days we chilled out, had fun, spent time with each other,
COVID sex,
made the best of it.
Yeah, man.
So when I came back to do the test again, I did it, got my negative, and was ready to fly. The fortunate thing was it only cost me $100 to change the times and dates of both of my tickets to return to Saudi. But returning to Saudi was a whole nother issue.
Yeah, man.
That was funny because once I got to Riyadh, they canceled my flight to come back down here where I'm at now. I had to buy another ticket, and even that flight got pushed back like 3 times.
Yeah, well, that's all. I was just talking to my guy down at site, talking about that. I didn't because I don't know about you guys, man. I try not to watch the news because that shit's depressing. But I didn't know that no, my bad. After I watched Formula Drift. This is one cool ass channel who he fucking nailed it. He does like this. He does the weirdest shit. He breaks down, the deepest parts of the sea, and it's called Real Life some shit. Dude gets like millions of views on this shit, man. And he was saying why the flight go up because they're not flying FedEx and everybody. They're not flying over Russia and shit. So they're flying instead of being like a 13-hour flight. Now it's a 16-hour flight. So they got to go down. They got to go fucking down across. Up and then over, and all the flight patterns have been fucked up. And Lex, I know you're in the airplane, so you know that shit. So all the flight patterns are fucked up, and they're not really announcing it. They want it because that is a business thing where you don't want to announce. Oh fuck, man, it's going because customers going to get worried that you can't deliver, and some companies fuck up, doing that. But FedEx didn't really say it, and now the prices went up overnight. And I seen Paco post about it, but I don't think he knew why that price went up.
Yeah, everything that I've been ordering.
Yeah.
Some of the aero that I ordered for the RX-8, everything taking mad long because it's got to be rerouted.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff's going different ways. A lot of, unfortunately, a lot of the shit that I've been ordering for the R1, a lot of the carbon fiber pieces and everything are from that region in Europe. I'm getting them. But it's taking hella long. My belly pan is 6 to 8 was moved from 4 to 6 weeks to 6 to 8 weeks out now.
Yeah, and what sucks, man. Did they even tell you that though, or you had to find out yourself?
Nah, they tell you after you order it. Then they send you an email a couple hours later talking about, oh hey, friend, your shit's gonna be mad late.
Well, I'd rather have it late than not at all.
Yeah.
Because I remember when the whole COVID shit started, I ordered a GPU because I was gonna build my first computer, and it was an AMD RX 570, and I ordered it through Amazon, and all of a sudden it went from being 2 weeks late to never showing up, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the whole GPU craze started, And I'm like, fuck,
And that's
man.
common for Amazon too, because they well that shit. I mean, I utilize them frequently actually, but now I found out where a lot of those sources are, so I go straight to the source. Being a company allows me to do certain things that I would, because I show them my ID and I can get like, so I order quote unquote samples. Like, yeah, let me get like 30 samples of some shit, like, and then I never fucking get back with them because it's like, nah, I don't know fucking samples. I just wanted that shit and I didn't want to pay 500. So give me 30, and because they look on some of these places, and the MOQ will be like 500 units. I'm like, I don't need 500 of those, but I do need like 30 of them. So, and that's the thing too. I mean, let's be honest, man. People like try to play like everything comes from fucking China, man. At some point, some materials, most of that shit comes from there, because it's like you as a business, you want to, I wouldn't do it, and that's what TC we talked about. Like Kazuma, is kind of getting a lot of heat from some things because his knuckles are falling apart. Not that they coming from China, but I don't know where they coming from. And then like, Vertex, back in the day they had this little signal thing you put on your signals. The guys that was before Alibaba. Nobody knew about it, but now you go on Alibaba, you see that same part that Vertex is selling for like $180 with their laser inscription on it, with no laser inscription on it. So those Japanese just got on the game quicker than the people now. And now, like, the Alibaba shit, and which is China Amazon. Like, when you get that package, I order from Amazon Japan, and after I got about 5 packages that says like Langongzi China, I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm ordering the same, like, I'm ordering now directly from Alibaba now. I don't go to fucking Amazon.
Yeah. That's been the biggest struggle rebuilding this bike. Yeah. I've been trying to get all OEM stuff. I did actually get all OEM hardware and a lot of specific pieces, but there's like the gauge cover, the actual lens cover got cracked, so I got a replacement. Trying to get stuff that was here sourced in America. A lot of stuff is staged in America now, but it's from other places. So, you get lucky and be like, "Oh, this came hella quick."
Oh shit!
Cool,
What's this? Is it live?
Over now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was live. Yeah. But yeah, it's always gonna be something from that. So you kind of just gotta, the other funny part is, most of the American stuff is made in Mexico.
Yeah.
You kind of just,
it's business. Like, we guys gotta understand, man. With this shit, man, business is fucking about making profit, and that's one thing here. TC he definitely knows what I'm going through here. With these guys, they get like mad at me for making a profit. I'm like, bro, I didn't fucking open this shop to just be doing handouts and shit. Because when I did my books, I was doing that. I was giving out liters of fucking oil for dudes who were like under oil, like a lot of RX-7s that had leaky ass oil pans and shit before they did the racing beat thing and everything. So I was like, oh yeah, you're low, I'll top you off. And then I looked at my books like, dude, I did that shit 30 times. That's fucking $380 I gave away. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that, man. And like, what I mean? So now it's like, nah, dude, everything, that comes through here is to make money, to make a profit. And there's a trend now online. God damn, that feed is going crazy as shit right now on that FD. But it's a trend now where dudes like are chastising guys for making money. Like, if you're making money and stealing from people, like the dudes I posted about a few weeks ago that had 400 cars, like, in that scandal in Florida, like, yeah, like, you made your money, but then you made your money in the process of fucking people knowingly or unknowingly. You know what I mean? So yeah, that ain't cool. But if I'm making that shit honest, upright, pictures, documents, everything, and that's why this TC, and I've been open 6 years. There hasn't been one single customer that went online and say, "Oh man, he did this or he did that." They can't, because I got documents of everything. I got documents and videos of everything I did, man, from the day I fucking started, because I know how people are. They'll smile on your face, blah blah blah, and then go run and tell it and shit. And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, really? Well, go ahead and post your shit online, and I'm gonna post email traffic." And that always shuts that shit down, because you're gonna look like a dumbass and get fucking. It's gonna backfire. You see that happen all the time, where people try to go ream somebody and they do it in the wrong way, and that shit backfires on them, and then the whole internet's like, "You're a dumbass." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. First of all, that's just bad business practice to try to go online and blast a business that's been honest with you.
Yeah.
That's just
in their defense, playing devil's advocate and putting them. They've been fucked before, but they got fucked before without the kind of proof that I have, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I had a customer not too long ago where they came to me like, you know, after the third shop, I'm like, well, why did you come to me the first time? Oh, we thought you were busy. Like, well, next time call me or email me to find out my schedule, not somebody else who doesn't fuck with me and going to tell me I'm busy because they want you to go somewhere else. So that's happening a lot here in TC, in Massawa, by the way, TC. A lot of guys like, oh, no, he's busy, man. I'll go there. And then I catch up with him like, hey, man, don't you work for me? Well, shut the fuck up then. And this is in like aisle 6 in the commissary. And then I go about my business and buy Captain Crutch and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, but I keep that energy everywhere, man. Fuck that. We got, we're going.
I don't get that. It's just, I don't know who taught these kids.
Yeah, whoever fucking taught them, they don't know they don't get punched in the fucking face, man. You know what I mean? Like, you're taking money from out of my pocket. And what you don't know is the Japanese don't give a fuck about foreign-on-foreign violence in Japan. They don't give a shit about it. So like you get to the point where you're if you say, oh, well, this option is cooler because this, but when you're blatantly saying, don't go there because I told you to fuck off few years ago because you're being a jerk, like now you're it's like you're almost going to my pocket and taking money out of it. And at that point we got to talk, at least talk, and depending on your action and your attitude, we can take it somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So it generally never gets to that point, Lex. TC knows that because you talk to you run up in a dude here in Massawa, and it's always a backpedaling or always oh no man, it wasn't like that. Well, I'm like, well, online it kind of seemed like that, and when the other person told me you said this, it kind of seemed that way. And now you're in a junkyard, and I had to happen last week. TC and Tommy's, 3 dudes, three full grown adults, and I had to fucking punk all 3 of them at the same time. I'm like, nah, dude, like that's not how it goes down. You guys are fake business dudes. I'm a business. So run your shit how you gonna run it, but keep my fucking name out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? We already heard about what happened like 2 weeks ago. People getting slapped for not keeping people's name out their mouths and shit. So it's like, hey man, it's Massawa is small, so we can't do that. But I digress, man. Long story short, you know what I mean? Just be nice to people.
Yeah.
They like, this motherfucker violent, dude. Like, nah, dude, I ain't violent. But at the same point, man, we ain't got to go there until we got to go there. And then when we there, it's like, you know, you're from Florida, TC, Lexis, and Cali. I'm from Baltimore. We're in places where we done seen many times people get put in their place, and some people permanently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For acting out of character and shit, man.
Yeah,
but that's
bloody shit.
That's just bad. I mean, like that's just like, you know, you don't put, like I said, you just don't put nobody out there like that, man. Yeah. Now, if you conducted business with somebody, and then you try to consult them on privately, and they don't want to act right, then I could see you putting that out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. It never goes. Yeah, it never goes. I always keep it private, and it never goes. It never goes beyond that conversation and it never doesn't get a response to nothing because I'll say straight up like, hey man, you knew what it was, this is what it was, and you know exactly what it was, and you kind of expected. And I'm like, and actually what you paid me, I did more than that actually. So when I break that down to him, and I'm like, I'll always give out, and every job I do, man, even though I get paid and I get compensated, I always do, like, for example, I clean engine bays and I don't charge for it. It's just because if I work on your car, man, and I was in an engine bay, like, I don't like dusty engine bays, man. That's just my thing. So you notice on my pictures, that Corolla that sold in like fucking 12 hours, by the way, that one I just put up, that 11, that thing is fun as fuck too, by the way. But that 11 sold in less than 12 hours, and you notice it had dents and dings on it, but the engine bay was clean as fuck. It's like, bro, like, clean your fucking engine bay and people will see that it ain't a piece of shit. Put a video up and it sells. And like I sold that car, I sold for $1,600. I put the same amount of effort in it if I was selling it for $3,500, $35K or whatever the fuck. And these guys want it. And that's another thing too, Lex. These dudes want to sell an FD for fucking $45K with no compression check, no video of it running, no video of it starting up. Like, dude, we could tell everything from just starting that motherfucker up, what it's about. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, dude, people they want to put no effort and then get max results, and they wonder how do I sell a car in less than 12 hours? Because it's fucking
like if my motor, right, when it got hurt, It turned out to be a apex seal corner of it just slightly got cracked when some debris passed through. But when the motor's warm, it runs fine.
Got you.
If it's cold, it's a hard start.
Compression, yeah.
Right. But that's what guys will do. You know, like when I go to look at these cars, I'll be like, car better be cold when I get there. I need a cold start. I want to hear it. And then they're all, Then it's like, no, it's very simple. Just don't run the car.
Yeah.
Let it be cold. You know, when I come, we'll start it up. I need to.
And
see
like you got
it,
you got a rotary pressure tester, right? Like, no, I just pushed the button and the thing a bunch. Like I did, I ain't gonna lie, I did that shit too, where you take out the valve and you keep pushing a button on a standard compression tester to make it drop. But there's no way, and I did it, and it actually was accurate. But that rotary compression tester, man, that's been the best tool I bought. And then I bought Alex Rodriguez sold a countersunk socket that I didn't know I needed. Because those fucking ones that goes deep into the housing, you can't get it out with a standard. You'll break the porcelain. You can't get the socket to go inside. So Alex made this little socket that goes inside the spark plug cylinder, like you know what I'm talking about, on the housing, where it's like countersunk. So Alex Rodriguez, I gotta get him a podcast, man. He made he just got a machine down a couple of thousands, and you can stick it in there with the spark plug. But yeah, man, it's with that stuff, man, with the rotaries and everything, man. Like, so, you know, like, I'm not sure how much you know about Lex TC, man, but, you know, Lex, his FC, 10 seasons on that engine?
Yeah.
And not babying it. And then, you know, all these guys, oh, man, they're unreliable. Like, nah, dude, you're unreliable, motherfucker. The engine ain't unreliable. It's going to do what it's going to do, but you can have somebody with a top shelf engine, and they go up there and run that bitch, pre-mix it wrong, do whatever the fuck. Like, it's going to break down.
My car would still be fine for another 10 seasons, but I had that little fender bender with some cars that spun in front of me, and I had to go get my frame pulled, but my V-mount is solid on my radiator support. So when the frame went and then got pulled back, I didn't recheck the couplers because I was in a rush getting the car done for an event. So when I go on the first power pull and the engine torqued, it pulled the couplers apart. So I had no intercooler, just raw intake manifold. And I felt the lull in power, but then I just stood on it and made power again. And when I got sideways, since my fender wells, my inner wheel wells are cut out, some debris flew right off the tire, right into the car.
Ooh.
So it wasn't the car's fault. It was just, you know, a coincidence of things. And 10 seasons beating the shit out of it. And it still ran because I went and did a second run, still with no intercoolers, still sending it. And it still was making hella power. It just idled funny. And I just knew, like, from that point, I'm like, I'm not going to run it anymore because I don't want to make any more problems. So we caught it. The whole engine inside and out.
Wayne?
Yeah, Forrest is killing people. The engine inside and out was still beautiful, but it just had one cracked tip of the apex. So
I consider myself a rookie to the rotary game. So I'm a rookie to the rotary game. I mean, I can look it up on YouTube and everything, but I can't wait till I actually, you know, in person, you know, drive it.
Yeah.
Get an actual feel for it, learn the ins and outs of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I was kind of, like I said, I was curious about that, and I've always liked the RX-7.
They're a charm, dude. Like, you're gonna fall in love with the FD because there's a lot of things to love about them, right? You're gonna enjoy them. You're gonna enjoy the power plant. You're gonna enjoy how it moves. You're gonna enjoy how raw it feels. You're gonna enjoy how the power comes on. It's so different. You can drive
smooth.
Yeah, you can freight train smooth, right? You can drive a ton of other cars, but the rotary has its own standalone character.
Yeah.
The FD, like, see, if I didn't have the FC that I have, if I didn't have the other FC that I have, if I didn't have the RX-8 that I have, if I just had an FD, that's all that you would need. But because I have a built FC, I could never just find a reason to spend that much money on an FD. But once you have it all together, like, all the pieces of the puzzle are proper. There's no vacuum issues. There's no cooling issues. It's not overpowered. A lot of people overpower them and make them really peaky and all of that shit. If you just have this car being smooth, you're going to be like, there is no other car that feels like this. The way it builds power, where it's a constant surge of torque from the moment that it comes on, you're feeling that push of torque all the way until it bangs the limiter, which you know it could rev further. You know
Yeah.
you want to rev further because you're like, it never fell off on making power. You know what I mean? You've revved it to $8,000 and you're like, it never fell off. It's just like every gear you grab, it's like, yes, this feels amazing. Like rotaries are like, it's like no other, dude.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's definitely that. And the one thing about this crazy about the road, you drop even like the smooth, like the 2J, 1J, they're really smooth. And that's where I can be people like, they're unreasonably biased. And it's like, I build both JZ RB engines, but if you drift the JZ, the Yamaha, the balance, the stock harmonic, stock. What I'm talking about here, you notice the JZ is a lot more smoother at higher RPMs than an RB. RB, you kind of get this is a range it gets in where it does get vibration, and that's because the balancing and the counter shafts. But you can fix that if it's an issue with getting the proper cranking on stuff like that and other shit you can do, blah blah. But I've had only stock cranks on RBs, but there's some other stuff like just driving faster, because some people leave that shit in second gear and beat the fuck out of the rev limit. Like, dude, yeah, shit's gonna happen, man. Shift the fuck up a couple gears and keep it smooth. Like, you don't gotta be at 8,000 RPMs in second gear or even third gear, depending on the track. You need to shift up. And so people like they blame their lack of skills and also being scared or not going faster on an engine. And they do that, and it's one thing with the rotary, where I've driven every rotary. I've never like banged the limiter on a rotary, and also like it just feels so smooth. Like it's like it's like you're doing raw shit, but it doesn't feel like it's hurting the engine. Right. If that makes sense. It don't feel like, versus you get into some piston engines, like you can little shit feel a vibration at 6,700 RPMs. Like it's just kind of, it don't feel cool. It feels like I'm going to blow this fucking engine up.
Yeah, that's a thing. They're like motorcycle engines. Yeah. You rev them up, and if they hit the limiters, it's like, all right, that's my shift light. You know what I mean? It's just.
I don't. I did remember back in 2005. I actually test drove an RX-8, and I was going all across. Basically, I was all across Phoenix. Me and my wife at the time, we test drove a RX-8, test drove a Mazda Speed 6, test drove an STI, and then I couldn't test drive an Evo up until that point. But they had a used STI at a Mitsubishi dealership, and I was going to go test drive that. And I almost bought into it, but he's like, okay, we got a brand new Evo 9 on the showroom floor, electric blue. And I'm like, okay, why not? So me and my wife at the time, we took it for a drive, and I had already did my credit approval through my credit union. I was already pre-approved up to like 36,000. And the car was only like, sticker was 32.
Yeah.
And they was trying to get me to fill out credit reports and all that. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, you can give it to me for this a little bit, like sticker price. And they drew up the paperwork and everything. And they got it for me for, I think, a little bit over sticker price, not much. Like a couple $100 over sticker. It was an Evo 9.
Okay. Yeah, I got a Mazda Speed 6. I went in, bought it. Matter of fact, it was funny because the salesman, was trying to sell me on an 06 GTO. Like, I don't want a GTO. I came in.
That's a polar different opposite deal right there. It's not like
Okay.
Yeah, GTO and a Mazda 6.
Want the Speed 6. And so we went on the test ride, and my wife's in the back, and dude's sitting up front, and he's trying to like talk my wife into it on some, man, don't you want him to have a V8, don't you? And my wife's sitting there, and she's like, you don't know him. You're not gonna say that, in a minute. And so the dude's telling me, oh, this car's fast or something. I was like, it's all right. Like, I'm gonna show you what type of time I'm on. So we flying in this car, man. And I was like, damn, okay. I felt direct injection for the first time, and I'm like, man, this thing does work, right? The Mazda Speed 6. So I'm like, yeah, I want it. I just want it without the navigation, and I want everything else, just no navigation. So they were looking through their inventory on what they had.
How much that money? How much that save you?
Not much, because it's still a $46,000 car, but it didn't save me much. But I wanted the Velocity red, and I wanted black interior, with the piano wood trim they call it. It just looked like straight piano wood interior, but it was black. So while they were looking for that, dude's like, "Come on, let's just drive the GTO. I bet you change your mind. I bet you change your mind." So again, my wife jumped in the back seat, and dude's like, "Yeah." We started up. He's like, "Yeah, turn traction control off." I don't know. I was like, "Yeah, okay." I turned it off, and then my wife is laughing because I looked back at her, and she knew he had put the seatbelt on. She put it on. Man, when I was pushing that damn GTO, right? And it was funny because as I'm flying on the flyover, getting on the freeway, we went the same route. I was doing 140 in the Speed 6. I was only doing 133 in the GTO. And it was funny because dude's like, he heard me. I wasn't lifted. I was flat out. He was terrified.
God damn, Wing. Is that Wing right there? He's like, man, it's like, I'm gone, man. Fuck out of here. Yeah, because he tried to follow him. So that's how I was supposed to look in the front. And he was shallow, so I know he already won this based off right there. He's like, fuck out of here, man. I'm gone.
Oh yeah. He's a murderer. Matter of fact, I already clipped that clip of runs. I'll send them over to you. But yeah, dude was like, he said, I know it's funny. He said, I know this sounds crazy, but I feel like you were going faster in the 4-cylinder. I was like, I was. He was like, how? And my wife started laughing. She said, I fucking told you it doesn't matter about it being V8 or not.
That's the shit. That matters to like the casuals. That's that word is that word is fighting, drifting, everything, man. The casuals. Yeah, man, that matters to casuals who you're selling to a predominant amount of time. We don't know. Like, again, when you walk in that door, they don't know this motherfucker's a stunt rider. Blah blah blah. They just see a black dude with a beanie on.
Yeah, and I just walked because it was a Pontiac Mazda Hyundai dealership, and they wanted to push the Pontiacs. Right. They wanted to, but I'm like, I want this Mazda. So while I did all that, kicking his ass in that car, he felt like crazy. And he went back as we brought the vehicle back in to park it in the service department. They had the Mazda Speed ready, waiting for me. And he hopped out, and all of the dudes were looking, and he had a look on his face, and the dudes were like, what? And he said, yo, y'all, call me crazy. Because they were like, does he still want this, or does he want the GTO? Yeah. He was like, nah, y'all, call me crazy. But he said, but that Speed 6 is faster than the GTO. And they're like, no way, that has blah, blah, blah horsepower. The Speed 6 only has 274. He's like, yeah, but he said, but he drove down this road and went flat out, got on the freeway, flat out in that car, flat out all the way down the freeway, flat out on the flyover. And he said, we were doing 140 in this car. We were doing 130 something in this car. And he said, but when we went around the corners, this car was planted. I didn't feel scared. He was like, in this car, it was bobbling and floating and shit. And he was like, but he never lifted, which was crazy. So it's not like he backed out of the throttle. And they were like, what? And I changed dude's mind that day on that shit. But we went home in that Speed 6, and that Speed 6 was the best car I had ever had. The only reason I lost it because my stupid ass, when I was modifying it, got a cold air intake on it. And it was a long ram intake that went down onto
Yeah, we all done it.
Yeah, and it rained, and I was driving somewhere below sea level. The car made a good amount of power. I think I got it to like 330 or something horsepower. And it was mobbing. I used to race STIs and Evos all the time back in the day in that car. But the problem is I sucked up the water, hydrolocked it, and it was done. But because it had such low mileage on it, and that car, I caused a recall for the rear diff mount and the bolts for the diff mount because I kept shooting them. And they were like, what the fuck is going on? But I wasn't doing anything crazy. I just was accelerating dumbass hard on them. And either the car got put together like a sissy on the assembly line or just the luck. I would always break the diff mounts. So they remanufactured a rear diff mount and harder grade bolts to go in it. So that ended up being a recall on all the Speed 6s that they did that from because I broke my rear diff mount like 6 times. But because they knew of the whole history of my car, how immaculate it was and everything, they took the seized motor Speed 6 on a trade-in. And they said, we want you to be in a Mazda. What do you want? And I was like, I had just test drove an RX-8 a couple months before that. I think my son was old enough to not be in a baby seat anymore, or he should have still been, but I wasn't putting him in one. And I was like, give me a Speed 6. I mean, give me an RX-8, but it has to be an R3 model. They're like, all right. They brought one down from up north. I had to go hella far up north to get it, but that's how I ended up in an RX-8. And it provided what I wanted. Like the way it handled so good. I couldn't be mad at how slow.
I want to say, if Mazda does bring the rotary back, I don't know. That would be wishful thinking. If they brought it back, I would love to see it like they did that they had that concept, because that Tokyo Auto Salon I did go to, I did actually see the concept up close. That's the concept that's in Gran Turismo now. That RX Vision.
Yeah.
I saw it up close, man. It looks gorgeous, man.
Yeah. And we need another GT car. We need another sports car. Like, I know that it's not going to be turbo. I know that it's probably going to have a hybrid feel, or it's going to be an EV with the rotary as a power assist. But the point is, we need one of these GT chassis again. Only sports car that Mazda has is a Miata. And that's it. You know, we need to like Darren Kelly coming with that
Aston
Martin.
Yeah. Think so mean.
We need to look like that. Aside from how it sounds, right? We need shit that looks like that. That car looks sexual, man. And
that's right there to me. Like that, a build like that. Before we get off that, man, is there's so like Kurt. Now, Kurt, if you watch this, man, like Kurt's the type of guy who, if he falls into a shit ton of money, shit ton, he's gonna go out. We already know he's gonna go out and buy a 40, a 50. He's that guy. He's that guy. That's just what he's gonna do with his money. I'm like, bro, you take a half of that and build something like that Aston Martin, dope as fuck, man. And like, you could take a goddamn MR2, and then go get that what's that, like $6,000, $10,000 body kit, and that shit looks like a fucking no. It's another company that makes like these. They make like, it's kind of like a kit car. Yeah, they got the kit car versions, and they got the body kit one. The kit car one, it makes that fucking MRS looks like a goddamn supercar. And then say if you do that with a, like I got the engine, the V6 Toyota engine, man. Goddamn, just slipped my mind.
Yeah, that he goes to some time
Is
attack
it a two
events.
two GR?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And this Camry powered MR2 like the SW20.
Yeah.
And it's fast as hell,
Yeah,
man. It's hella fast. And surprisingly, that engine sounds great.
Yeah.
It sounds exotic. It sounds like a Lotus.
Basically, man, you can catfish a lot of motherfucking chicks, man. Cause they think you get like he's like, nah, man. I mean, literally like that one, the 818 from Factory 5 in New Jersey. I'm gonna get that car, bro. Like you look it up, TC. It's called 818. It's pretty much a Subaru inside of that car, but it's like overall you can build that whole thing. Shipping the other Subaru, which here I can go get. I got 2 of them. I just sold one. Literally, I can get a Subaru a whole donor car for like $1,200. And then get that kit is up a little bit because COVID shit, and also they like look on their website, they're sold out for the year already, for this year already, so you can't get one until 2023, like so unless you buy somebody else's failed project, which that is a thing. So I'm probably gonna get it that way. Somebody bought that shit and then realized how much I had to put into it, and then they want to resell it. So I'll probably end up getting it that way. I don't mind as long as all the bolts are there and shit. But like what I'm saying, I think I shared with Lex that car. But look up the 818 TC. That's
I saw it 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
Supercar level looks MP1 almost, but it's under 20K.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not spending. I love the FD, man, and other cars, but I'm not spending 25K for S14. Fuck that. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, people have ruined it, but us being car guys, we've looked at a lot of other things. We know different avenues and places that we could spend our money. It wouldn't be the typical thing,
right?
We'd be able to find somewhere for usable shit, right? Yeah, you might want to have something super exotic that you've always wanted for
like
years.
I mean, like a 35, man. I didn't have. I guess that's kind of what I'm working towards, to have that kind of cash around. Not looking to be fucking Bill Gates, not like we were talking about earlier, Lex, not trying to cap myself, but this being, I mean, that's a different type of lane where they got enough money, but they want it all. But I wish I would have had like 10K just laying around because it was a GT. What's that, Lex?
Yeah. Think about having billions. You could spend $1 million like it's nothing.
Yeah. That's a different type of,
You can spend a couple million like it's nothing.
But like just having like, I want to be to the point where I have like, 20, 30K, that's like I can just pick it up. Like there was a GTR TC that sold for 10K. It had a fucking a dude crashed it. It had a core support, a radiator, and a fucking headlight. 10K. That's all was wrong with the car, dude. And Japanese, they quit easy when they have an accident like that. That's like I'm at S2000. That's how I got multiple cars. Like I got like a little bit of damage on that. My NSX I got for 28. The show, you know what I'm saying, like with documents and everything, so I can drive that shit after I do my engine swap. You know what I mean? I paid $2,800 for NSX. It's a body, but I know because I built a lot of shit. There's a couple nuts and bolts, and you're back in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna pretty much have S2000. I mean, an NSX for under 15K. Let's say that much. So I mean, that's how I'm gonna roll into all my shit. To be honest, I haven't even, believe it or not, I haven't even driven a new Hachiroku yet. I don't ask nobody to drive, and they don't give me the keys. I'm not going to say, hey, man, let me get in that. I just don't. So.
See, I did drive, I don't know if you remember Gunn.
Yeah.
Lamar Gunn.
Is he over there?
He's not over there no more. I think he might have went to Doha.
Okay.
But, a couple years ago, I drove his supercharged one, and I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, Gun was a
I love, but I would like, for me, I'm gonna say, I like the fact that Toyota is building more sports cars. I like that fact.
It's money on the table, man. Look how that shit, like Lex said, that shit. Like I said, you ain't qualified. Fucking goddamn the first one went to goddamn Turek. That's what is getting towards that point, man, where now, Ferrari had a thing where you got to own a Ferrari to buy a Ferrari, and if you buy a used one, you kind of get blacklisted type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you. type stuff. And I mean, they got enough money to do that to their customers. Is what it is. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. You got to be almost a fucking influencer now to get the dibs on shit now. It's going to go to the celebrities, politicians, and influencers, and then everybody else will wait for it. So what they're going to do is they're going to see all these guys. This is a marketing scheme. They're going to see all these fucking guys out there with a car, living it up, doing it, and this going to make them want the car. So it's a good marketing scheme, but it kind of sucks that I can't just go out and buy an IROC Z, or I can't go out and buy insert, a Grand National, or what, back. Right. It's like now they made it's too exclusive for a regular ass car that honestly, if you pull up to a fucking restaurant with that car, they're like, man, get that shit out of the fucking Corolla out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, but now they're making it like that. Even the GTR kind of got a little bit because it's been in the movies, but it's still, the Nissan car, I see these podcasters talk about it like it's a regular ass, like an Altima. Like, nah, dude, that's a top of the class type of vehicle, but it's not a fucking McLaren. It's not a Gallardo. It's not one of those cars. So that gets into the people who are not car people, and I kind of dislike those people. They just buy status vehicles. That's all.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Donnie knows. Donnie knows. I'm kind of like, I do love the GTR, but I'm pretty much Mitsubishi. Right. I'm pretty much mostly Mitsubishi. Mm-hmm. And I've been like that for all my life. I've had. Hey man,
TC. So real quick, man, you gonna buy that 4G60 swap GTO I'm doing?
Yeah, I didn't even. I know you was talking about it. I didn't even know.
I do a lot of shit now. I'm kind of playing the game a little different, man. As far as not, I got to keep some shit offline, man. I've got burnt a couple of times. I'm talking about other shop owners that got more deeper pockets than I do. I mentioned something to them, and then all of a sudden they did it. I'm like, okay, I see the game now. You have no vision, but you got money. And right. I had to calm down on certain shit, sharing it, and even talking to other shop owners about it, even here local in Masawa. Yeah, I had to. Yeah, so yeah, that's where we at with that shit. So I'm definitely gonna bring. I'm gonna bring that out. Take it to. Go ahead.
I'll tell you what, man, because supposedly they're in talks to allow people to come back to Japan here soon.
Yeah.
And when that happens, I'm gonna plot for a July-August return.
Okay.
To come home.
Well, the Evo will be squared away. The Arc 7, yeah, that thing is becoming I don't. Man, that shit makes me annoyed. I'm angry, but
I'll talk to you offline about it. But I think I got an idea for the FD, like. But I'll talk to you about it offline.
We'll talk about it offline, man. I don't need to know.
Yeah, but I would say still, what I was saying is like influences and stuff. I'm not. It was one thing that really helped me influence buying Mitsubishi. And if you watched any kind of movies with this guy in it, you would already. Yep.
Yeah, you can't. Lex OG, man.
That's what made me love the Evo 3.
Yeah.
Man, when I saw that movie, Who Am I? When he had that Evo 4, I was like, yo, dude, this motherfucker.
Man, it made me feel bad. I just sold my Evo 1 actually 2 weeks ago, man. So I've had most of my cars I've had in my life have been 4G63 powered. Again, one of the all time, 2 liters, man. It's one of those engines where a lot of these new guys, they fuck them. I had one guy like about a few weeks ago, man. Not actually more than a few weeks ago, because he wanted to fucking take out the balance shafts. I'm like, dude, what do you do? Oh, I just drive around town. I'm like, dude, leave those fucking balance shafts alone, man. Like, what that's like the WTC guys that are taking it out because they're doing certain kind of things to the engine, different crankshafts and shit like that. Leave that fucking. Like, dudes are just, that's where now it's so much information now where people are just looking at the people and online and doing dumb shit. And I shut it down because I'm like, dude, this is there's a reason why you take out the balance shafts. It ain't done in the car as engine out job. So I quoted this one guy like $15K to do everything. And I'm like, it has to be done this way. I don't do it in the car. I don't give a fuck where you read it on the forums. I don't do it in the car. It's going to come out. So I'm like, so what are you trying to do? I'm like, you don't even race, and you're trying to do race like shit to your car. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do it. And it's money I'm giving up, but at the same time, I'm not going to do it because I know the side effects to that mod, and you're going to be in my fucking inbox 3 weeks later, like, hey man, when it at this RPM it does this. I'm like, yeah, because your crank is stock. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's one thing I've noticed. You see a lot of guys that do regular drivers trying to do race car shit. Like,
stupid, man.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't need that. You don't need to have an engine.
He just missed that. Lex was just talking about that. TC, what's your feeling on it? Like, we were talking about Kurt. Like, we always fuck with Kurt, but it's true because Lex was talking about like how he does the brakes, suspension, and muffler, and that's it. And he had a video of running his cars, running everything. And then these other guys, they just do like all their like. I'll pull up the video so you can see it, TC. But
I have the same arguments with motorcycles.
Yeah.
A lot of my homeboys have the fastest bikes on the planet.
So TC, this is all Lex cars
on motorcycles, and it's going to the point where they're doing cylinder wall polishing and knife edge and cranks.
My bad, TC. This video right there is all Lex cars right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
all those cars, but.
And the thing is, even I know my limits, and my limits might have been lower because I haven't driven a high performance sports car in quite a while.
Oh yeah,
right.
So for me, I would, if it's anything,
7 psi gonna make you fucking almost orgasm, man.
I know.
Yeah, that's what people don't realize, man. Like I take these customers in there, like I have a guy drive an Evo, and I hate to call it, but I could tell I ask some questions like, man, you just dang pushing it, and I'll take him for a test drive, and that motherfucker be grabbing there. I'm like, don't grab the e-brake, dude. Don't do that. Let me drive. So the motherfucker be grabbing everything because they never cornered their car on a regular ass street like that. And now I'm like, yeah, it works. And like, oh man, this shit's awesome. It ain't that the mod I did is awesome. It's the placebo effect. They haven't experienced that. So the suspension is dope now, but it actually ain't that. It ain't a fucking Le Mans car, you know what I'm saying? It ain't. It's
right.
But it does feel like it sticks to the ground. This is on snow tires. I'm like, yeah, man. You just gotta, not be a bitch and drive it and take it to the track, and you'll really get the feel of it. I'm not telling dudes to go out in the street and do it because I don't want nobody to wreck their shit. But yeah, man. The average person don't really realize what their car can do, and then they want all this shit. I'm like, dude, stock STI, 280 something horsepower. A stock fucking GDA is even like 270, 260. The MRS right there, the 3S GT, it's like you don't need anything, man. Just go drive that bitch.
Have fun.
Yeah.
And that when I adopted that philosophy, man, that's why like when I talked to Donnie, I was like, hey Donnie, what can we do? Suspension stuff. I don't even need to touch the engine because I already know it's like my Evo is a fun car to drive just by itself. It's fun to drive. Like I ain't like my friends.
Yeah, I drove yours. I got to upgrade Shinobu's clutch and the manifold and shit because yours sound much better than hers. And the suspension, and of course her suspension, she got Cusco, so her suspension's fine. But when I remember that story I told you, I burnt her clutch out when we went on our first date. And but I didn't at the time. I didn't have spare cash, and I just put another organic in there. So your clutch is I believe it's definitely aftermarket. So that yeah, that's right. It's I think it's ORC or Gore or something like that. So yeah, her car. So technically that's my Evo now. If you didn't even know, that's mine. I just kind of took it from her. Yep. So I got to put plates on that, change the clutch, and then I got to get ready for JAF because I got to have a fucking street legal car to do JAF now. You can't just roll up and do the trials without an unplated car.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got to do that because you have to get JAF B, A, and then the other license to do Tsukuba time attack, which is what I'm going to do for the, I'm going to enter that shit, as a privateer. So I'll be there with all those guys, Cyber and all those guys, man. So that's going to be, like I say, that's what's going to take me to the, because drifting ain't it, man. Drifting is cool, but it ain't, you know what I mean? I went over 6 years, I got one drift build.
I think Time Attack, like for me, I'm more of a Time Attack fan than a drift fan.
By default, that's nothing. No, I don't take that offensive. It's just by default. Everybody grip drives every day, but not everybody drifts every day. So when you try to play to where, like, if you look all over Japan, you look at F1, F3, the motorbikes rallies, more people grip drive daily because you're grip driving, just driving normal.
Yep.
By not over what's that word? You're not inducing oversteer, stuff like that. So it's easier to, my customers have been street people and moderate track guys. That's it. I got one drift build from a customer that came in unsolicited, and that, you know what I mean, and even the money I made from him is not going to keep me open for more than a month. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where I like drifting. I always will love it, but I'm being real, man. Time Attack and grip, that's where the money is, man. That's why, you know what I mean, I'm changing kind of focus and doing this Tsukuba shit, because I do one event there, I get 5-10 customers, you know what I'm saying? Versus drifting, I can win the event and get 0 customers because they still going to go to, this guy or do whatever. Or drifters, honestly, don't make a lot of money, so they'll fucking, that's, if you look at the stats, dudes who do grip kind of make more money than, I don't know, I haven't kind of pinpointed that down. Maybe Lex can tell me. But the demographic of drifters and grip drivers is always, the grip guys generally have a lot more spare cash because they're not breaking shit as much.
True.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more money to play with, or a lot more money that gets fed into gripping.
And it's and a lot less dangerous too. Let's be honest.
I don't know.
Well, outside of your shit, the BMW dude and everything, you know what I mean? If he, yeah.
The rest are at such higher speed.
Oh, yeah.
Drifting most of the time.
Well, I should say, correct myself. I know what you're going to say, but the rate of what we see what happened with, Hurst and Literal, that's just like that's a, you know what I mean? The odds of crashing is a lot higher, quicker. But then again, on grip, though, if you go over this where this MR2 is, you don't fucking apex in.
Bad.
If that sand will slow you down, you're going right into that wall and your shit's fucked. Mm-hmm. Real fucked. You're not coming back from that.
It was super bad when it's grip.
Yeah.
Even though the frequency of impacts and collisions are more drifting, they're so controlled that it's the rate of danger.
Right.
It's dangerous,
right?
But it's like legendary levels of G-force negative impacts that are going to be happening.
Kind of like the because you don't see it all the time, and I haven't seen it really happen like that since, like when Kawabata and Daigo got entangled.
Yeah, that
entanglement.
that whirlwind of alligator fuck house that happened. Yeah.
Up for the people who went. Let me see. Was that Daigo? With Daigo, it was at. I think it was at Suzuka.
That was at Autopolis.
Autopolis.
Hold on, what's that?
Let's get crash.
I think that was Autopolis.
That shit was, there it goes, right there. First damn video up for the noobs. This was a reason why, and believe it or not, these are bolting cages.
Mind blowing that Japan does bolting cages.
But the thing is, they're bolting on proper. That was a weird kind of deal right there where he overtook him. That was Daigo back. This is a people who don't know, man. This is different kind of. This is Daigo, hungry Daigo. This is a different. This is not the Daigo now where he got all the shit in the V8 Hakosuka and all that shit. This was because he overtook the motherfucker, which is not normal when drifting, and they went crazy right there. But yeah, I think they got into it right after that. Kawabata's like, nah, man, let's run that shit back, son. So yeah, but what I was saying, man, these are bolting cages on good chassis. Though the difference when you guys are there trying to bolt in some shit on some fucking wafer ass rusted shit with no plates and the wrong bolts, then you know what I mean. And also Cusco, that's that show shit. Like we're talking about the auto power or actual actual cage. So it's a difference there. Yeah, but I think this is where they got into it. And TC, you seen this shit before, right?
I've seen it before. Not much though. I've seen it like once or twice. Yeah. But
that shit was violent.
I never really dealt much with Cusco products.
Yeah. Not talking about this crash though. Cusco, you know, they're kind of they brought their prices down now. But what I'm saying is like the Cusco cages were more like show. Like they were somewhat like, you know, they were safe, but they were like a show. Like people putting roll cages in cars for a fucking show. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's right here. Is this it when he came? Yeah. Like
oh yeah. I remember that. I still got that DVD too.
Yeah. Actually, now that I look at it, actually, it's not that violent. Back when I first seen it, I was like, holy fuck.
It was definitely shocking to see back then.
I thought Kawabata hit him. It was I know somebody else crashed where they crashed and then they hit each other, which made it more. What the fuck happened right there? Let's analyze that shit, man. So it looked like Daigo came out of it. Yeah, Daigo. Daigo. Kawabata seen him and tried to straighten up, and it was too late.
Yeah. Yeah, popped him real good.
Yeah,
too.
you see where he looked over, like, oh fuck. He looked over at Daigo and everything. And this actually, I seen this. I guess this is growth right here, Lex, because I never analyzed this crash before. When I seen it before, because I wasn't on that. I was just trying to bang Japanese chicks. But I mean, now I look at it like, Daigo lost grip, came in right there. Kawabata seen him, looked over like, oh fuck, let me straighten up. Too late, and Daigo hit the and he still actually e-braked and made it spin around more. Because if Kawabata didn't e-brake, he would actually T-bone him right there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, actually, it looks. And the thing about that shit right there, it's fucking hood hanging on by the latch, like all that shit, you know. And it's cool because like everything in the middle is kind of good. So all that shit went into another car. You know what I'm saying? They didn't like, you know.
Yeah.
All the drivetrain, the diff, you know, all that shit comes right out and goes into another car, and they continue on. But yeah, man.
Yeah, their sponge barriers are way better than our tire stack barriers.
Yeah, a lot of people probably. What's up?
Speaking of which, you guys are you guys catching up on? Are you guys ready for the new Super GT season?
No. Me, it's like no. It's like I to me, man, it's like for me, it's different because I race, man. So I really don't. And until I get a ride up there or whatever, man, I'm not interested in it, man. Because that seems like it's such a prestige level, and I know a lot of those guys, man. Such a prestige level of you know, at that point is not really skills and money. It ain't right there. You can't exist Super GT with the skills. Everybody there got skills. So now, you know, FD and D1 is kind of getting that same thing where it's not skills anymore. It's money. And, you know, that's going to show up. So, I mean, it just doesn't, I don't know, man. It just doesn't do anything for me when I watch it. So I try to, but, yeah.
I'm subscribed to all the YouTube channels, so
I should probably start watching highlights, though. I should start. You probably mix that in.
I don't watch this because
there's an app I got called Motorsport.com. And pretty much you can catch races from all around the world.
Highlights or the actual?
No, the actual races. So and then on top of that, if you do want to catch the highlights, they'll have those as well. I think it's like $49.99 a whole year. But that's how I've been catching all my motorsport action.
Motorsports.com?
Yeah, just motorsport.com.
I'll check this shit out. Cause that's just cool, like, you know, because if we don't seek it out, man, it'd be some cool, like I never got out. No Owls and Man Goes Down. Is Lex, they been still doing it during Corona times? I mean, they're in space. It's not like you can't catch Corona going that fast, you know. So it's like it's like with Yeah, I got a lot of shit be going down, and when I do get time, when I throw it on there, so I'll probably check that out and unsubscribe from fucking Hulu. Oh, I already did that. I did it last week because my wife went watching Hulu and Disney. I'm like, man, fuck this, dude. $20 a month. You ain't watching that shit. Gone. So
Yeah,
that shit's weird as fuck.
I got that feeling, man.
Yeah, but
I know that feeling.
yeah, that shit. I check my PayPal shit out too because it shows I use my PayPal card for my services because it's not connected to my main money. So I don't keep money in PayPal. So if something happens, it's not like they fucking with my money to pay rent with. But if you look on there, I got actually your Sony thing. If you look on Sony, is an active deal, like when you do your PSN shit. And now I got it linked up to my account so I can just buy shit instead of buying those cards now. But if you close that out, then you got to reactivate it on your PlayStation. So if you so I got a bunch of shit like when it's active when I don't use it anymore, I just cancel it and it goes away. Because even if you cancel on their end, if you cancel Hulu but you don't go to PayPal, that shit they'll still bill you, and that's where people fuck up.
Oh.
Yeah, man. So they're just kicking some knowledge out there. So we just kick financial knowledge and drift knowledge to y'all in the last 5 minutes, man. And with that, man. Y'all got any parting statements and parting whatever, man? So I gotta get out there and buy the boy a birthday cake, cause yeah, man.
Man, after you out.
Lexis on you, man. I'll leave it to you first, man.
Hey, man. Hey, yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit going on. Men be manly and be kind.
Yeah.
Get your projects done.
Yeah.
Because it's already hot as shit out here right now. So I know the summer is about to be crazy. It's about to be a lot of good vibes, a lot of good driving. And if you ride, a lot of good riding. So, yeah, I got quite a few things. Like I said, I got all of these things sorted out behind me. All of my cars are being sorted out. Those should be done in the next couple of weeks. And it's nothing but driving and events. Stay tuned to the vlogs because I kind of stopped for a second because I was getting all of the parts in.
Yeah, we were saying the same thing, man.
Yeah, getting shit together, sending cars there, lining shit up, getting everything planned out. But I'm back on the regular schedule. Shit, matter of fact, I've been dropping 3 videos, like long videos. Well, no, you know what? I actually cut everything down to like 7 to 8.
I got like 5 in the chamber, man. I got like 2 or 3 bike videos with the kids. I got the new plastics when they're PWs, and they thought it was new bikes.
Yeah.
They thought it was new bikes. I was like, yeah, they're new bikes. They're new bikes. They're like, nah, I just changed the plastics and painted the wheels and everything. And so
I just got to take the wheels off the R1 and send them to powder coat. So yeah, I got
that's definitely the move from now, man. I painted them, and I'm good at it. But I painted those wheels inside of 6 hours, so the fucking temperature dropped and shit, and they look cool. But I was like, nah. I used to sell painted wheels, and like now, powder coating is just the way, man. It's so much quicker. It does chip, but it's just quicker, man.
And the finish looks good for longer.
Yeah, it does. Mm-hmm. You get that shit, man. So it's like, man, fuck that. You know what I mean? I could paint. I know I can do that, but nah.
Yeah, but other than that, back to the track for everything. Gonna do a whole lot of hot weather driving and riding, man, and a ton of Gran Turismo. Now that everybody was crying about grinding, and they were grinding in the weirdest way.
Man, back on that again, dude. It's like it didn't. You know, I got it. I had some money left over, and I bought a couple of transactions, man. But then I won. You just play the game. This fucking dude. You don't look at it. It's just like real life. You know, you know if you make enough money where you ain't living check to check, the money just keeps going in there. And like I get my VA shit, for example. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I got the VA thing. I forgot that came out. I go buy like a Heltec ECU, whatever the fuck. Is my, whatever. The military's paying for parts now for the rest of my life. But but it's like you go and do some challenges and go and do some other shit, not thinking about the money and just play the fucking game. You'll look up like, oh, fuck, I got 2 million. I got 3 million. Just play the game, dude. Like, I don't get it. I don't like, then the groups we got when I do get a chance to get on, like the live re-editor, all that shit, man. You make the game your game inside of a game, you know what I'm saying, with your people and do what you gotta do. And motherfuckers, I think it's just the time we release the game is now where everybody, social media is cool, but everybody got a voice, man, and like, man, it sucks to say, man, but everybody don't need to be heard, man. It's just like, man, shut the fuck up, dude.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like,
In the 15 days I've actually played the game. I've been playing for 15 days now.
Right.
So out of the 15 days, I got 81 cars. Now,
just winning.
out of those 80,
Exactly.
out of 81, I'm not gonna lie, I bought 25 of them.
Yeah. But then they say, like Lex mentioned, like you can literally, and I think I'm not gonna do it, but I'm surprised somebody try to do it for YouTube because they just do the low hanging shit. Like try to play the game without buying anything. Play the game without buying any car. Like somebody probably out there has already done it. I didn't see the video yet, but play the entire game without buying shit. Just get what you get from the giveaways because they'll eventually give you everything you need to do what you gotta do. You gotta pretty much gold a lot of shit to get that tie-in LMP car or something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. But I think as far as parting words, I think I'm just gonna be grinding here on GT. I'm going back on vacation here in a couple
man,
weeks.
You always on vacation, man.
Hey man, thanks to COVID, man, I save up all the time, but I'll be gone for like a couple weeks celebrating the birthday with the girlfriend. But from May to the time Japan opens, man, I'm gonna be grinding on GT.
Yeah.
And Donnie working with Donnie on my cars, man.
Man, you got it, man. I'm surprised you didn't do it yet. If you want to do it, let me know. But man, you should be Airbnb in your fucking house, man.
I would, but only because of the legal purposes of it.
Yeah, that's true. They scratch that shit because motherfuckers will start a goddamn fire and they're like, well, why are you people in there? Like Airbnb and like, dude. Yeah, that's no.
Now I understand the concept, but if I do actually buy a house in Japan, which is what I want to do, I will be Airbnb in it because
I'm looking at that because it's actually the app is not even like you look on the fucking app, it don't go above Sendai. There's a few like in Japan they got it. I forgot the name of it, Lex, but it's like Airbnb decades before the Airbnb. So you will have like we went to this one place, man, out in Morioka. Man, it took me a while to go to sleep, man, because the fucking sun. Dude, we got there up in the fucking mountains, bro. It was I only had my one kid, and we pull up and it's pitch black fucking dark, and the dude's looking out the fucking window. It's the son of the hotel, and we got there a little bit late, so the motherfucker's like looking out the window, like staring at us as we get out their car. I'm like, what the fuck's this about? And my wife's like, oh yeah, they live here, so they're renting out a house that they live in, and it's multiple rooms and shit. And the motherfucker kept like walking down the hall. I'm like looking out I'm like, what the fuck's this dude on, man? Like raping chicks and burying the bodies and shit. And yeah, man. So I was like, man, we ain't staying here no more, man. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, in Japan, like they got these places where they have a big house, like multiple rooms and shit. But they also like they cook breakfast and shit. So it's kind of like, you know, you going over your aunt's house, but you don't fucking know them. We're like, we'll skip that food for now. We'll go get our own shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but they got but in Japan though, if you say Airbnb or some shit like Uber Eats is not even up here. There's not enough people to have it. So all that shit that the Postmates and all that shit y'all got there, that shit's only in Tokyo, like in a circle. That's it. So outside, that's the only place in Japan where that stuff exists. Outside of there, Airbnb, they don't know about that. They don't know about Uber. They don't know about none of that shit. Uber Eats, Uber Taxi, because that shit's cutting into the regular money. So they like, nah, keep that shit away, son.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, outside of that, I would say close to hopefully when the Buddha Festival comes, man. I want to be back. I want to be back.
It should cancel the last 2 years, man.
Yeah, I know. So I'm hoping they open it up this year, especially with the.
They might, but I don't know, man. I don't, because they don't. Nobody wants to be the one that's going to be getting the fucking slapped on the dick for having a open event. You know what I'm saying? So like they've really been, like all of my series been canceled. The Buddha's been done the last 2 years. So You know, a lot of people lost money. That's a major money making thing for that week. So
Right.
like my mom, my Shinobu's mom, you know, she does kimonos, but they still got other shit like the 20-year-old ceremony. So she still makes money. But like they make bank on that Nabuta shit from those rental fuck are those things called, not the kimono but the dude's worm, like the little short sleeve joints, like
Oh yeah.
Hakama, some shit like that.
Yeah.
So the dudes be wearing those, so they rent those out. But the last 2 years they've been getting, you know, they lost a lot of money, man. So, you know what I mean?
Now I think like I said, outside of that, I think I'm like I said, I want to get back. I do want to enjoy me another good drive. I do enjoy, like I said, driving to Tokyo. I do enjoy it. I do like going down to Daikoku Futo, and
it's definitely a vibe, man.
Yeah, it's like I love it. I try to do it every time I go, man.
Yeah, Lex, I'm pretty sure, you know, where you're in Cali, man. I'm pretty sure, like, because how far are you from like LA and all that shit?
340 miles.
So I mean, like, is it like if you drive, when you drive on a bridge or something like that, there, like you drive, is it like a certain, you get like a certain, being in California, do you get a certain vibe there, or it just feels normal when you drive down that area?
Kind of like, you know, when you go into Frisco, it has an element.
Yeah. It feels more alive or more.
No, Frisco was actually more Gotham City-ish.
Gotcha.
It's more dark. It's more cold. It's more shadowy, foggy. People are not as fast-paced as New York, but it's pretty fast-paced.
Gotcha.
There's hella homeless people all around, so you got a mix. You got a mix of the dirtiness, but the business and hustle and bustle. LA does just kind of seem like you're really in a different type of land. See, like where I'm at, dude, feels like normal life.
Yeah.
It feels dope. It feels comfortable. Those places kind of seem a little bit less comfortable, but it's probably mostly because I don't live in those places and I go into them for, you know, moments of time here and there. But yeah, it's but yeah, it would LA would be like our well, it can't be. Tokyo is very vast, very busy. It's like New York, right?
Yeah.
But LA is see, Tokyo seems like people walk everywhere. New York, people do walk everywhere. LA, we don't walk like that. We drive everywhere. California is literally a car culture area. We drive everywhere. We have freeways everywhere. We don't walk anywhere. You know? So that's why, like, you could be in places like New York and walk all over the place and not own a car. That ain't happening out here.
Yeah. It's kind of the same here, man, where it's like long. So it's like, you don't, people walk, but they walk like in a local area, local distance and stuff like that. Then far as the, yeah, man. But I know TC has experienced, like, because Japan, what people don't realize about Japan, man, the people ain't come here, Japan is a big ass farm with city sprinkled in. So I'm talking about like rural areas and different things. And so like people think, even in Tokyo, when you go to Tokyo, if you go like 15 minutes down the street, you run into a rice paddy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's always around, even in the, like Shibuya is a little bit different because it's straight urban. But once you get away from that area, man, you run into little houses and stuff like that. And, but because of that though, when you're driving from like where I'm from, we're in like the boondocks up here, but it's still more like this place is in Japan where I'm talking about they're up in the fucking mountains and the nearest Lawson is like fucking hour away. Like that's called remote. And Lawson's in Japan, Lex, they're every like 10 feet. Like no shit.
Oh.
They're I mean, like Lawson's they're planning for businesses. I don't get it. But when you go through the toll road and you start seeing the lights right away in the high rises, it's something about being on that Rainbow Bridge. And on a nice warm night, TC definitely experienced it. It's like a different kind of vibe. It's like it feels like alive, vibrant. You can feel you can feel it, and You know what I mean? But it's cool to visit. Living there though, they don't get that sensation because they live in that shit. Fuck that.
Yeah, they're in it.
Fuck that.
Like I live 3 bridges in my area. So going across the bridges is like nothing special. It's every day, every morning. I go across a bridge at 4 a.m. I go across another bridge at 5:15. You know, it's like in one route, I've gone across 2 different bridges going into Frisco. The city's lit up, LEDs on the buildings and everything, but you just kind of drive through it and you don't really look at it because it's like, boom, you got downtown district,
right,
and it's literally a mile of travel on the bridge, and you're past it and it's gone. And then you just go into regular ass San Francisco.
Yeah.
And
that's the same. That's the same way here. Like when you go through the, because you of course you know about the fucking Wonga and all that shit. But the I've never driven a loop, and I got a buddy. I'm actually gonna nobody. It's not. I'm gonna do a video where I'm gonna take a car down there and a couple cars, and I'm just gonna drive. I'm going on that bitch like it's a racetrack, unload and get on the fucking C1, and then so it's like, you know, I never seen nobody do that kind of shit. So I'm getting with some buddies to get a group of guys. So it's not just me. And we have multiple angles and everything. And but it's like it's cool again to go to it. But yeah, man, I've been on there for a week at a time, and man, it's like, man, that it takes, you know, GPS says 16 minutes. Nah, dude, an hour and 16 minutes to go anywhere. Like, and that's every day. Compound that with the Olympic shit, like you ain't going no fucking where. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I was like, nah, man, you got the attraction, you got Daiko, Futo, you got other stuff, but even still down there, I thought you didn't have to order shit. You still got to order stuff because they don't have like a Pep Boys or a Napa or Rallies where we talk shit about it in the States. But dude, when I went to Napa, I was like, what the fuck? They got this in stock, they got that in stock, they got this. Like I was like, dude. And Alan was laughing at me at Bridge Moto because I was like, he's like, yeah, this is normal. I was like, nah, bro, not in Japan. I got to order this fitting. I got to order this sleeve. I got to order this. And there's nowhere in Japan where you can just go in there and buy like a 5-inch coupler for a diesel. Like, you know what I mean? I got to order that shit. You know what I mean? Or a 5-inch band clamp. You know what I mean? There's places I know a place in town where I can get that now, but I didn't know about that place for 10 years ago. But yeah, man, it's cool here. And then in Lexa, like I'm asking like geography, man. Vegas, you been to Vegas before?
Yep.
So Vegas
you around in. Well, you might die of heat stroke, but Vegas is that you will walk from one end of the popular stretch to the other end, and it's quite a few miles. But there's so much going on. You could walk into this place like what we did. We were in Vegas. We left out of one casino area, walked down the street to a Ross, got some change of clothes, just literally change on the street, walk into this club, go into the club, leave out of the club, walk down to this next hotel area with the dope ass restaurant, go in there, leave that. Like you'll park your car somewhere in Vegas and probably forget where the fuck you parked it if you like to drink, because you could have walked miles, dog, and been in many different places, and you've been like, shit, I don't even remember where the hell I parked at.
Dude,
but yeah,
where's that? Dude, where's my car?
My car, for real.
Yeah. So you been to Vegas, TC?
Yeah, I've been out there a couple times when I was
The reason I bring it up is because the Vegas GP shit. That's why I bring it up.
I went out there TDY a few but it's been a long time, almost 20 years ago. That was the last time I was out there. And the last time I was out there, I bought a front and back bumper for my Eclipse that I had. And when they were taking all the stuff back to Eglin, where I was stationed at, I pulled the bumpers out of there. Right off the flight line.
No shit. They had them in the seat, the 130?
Oh yeah. They had the big Connex boxes.
Yeah. You put that shit in there when it wasn't on the manifest.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Hey man, they getting your time. That's off. Hey man, fuck that, man. I've helped myself to a lot of government gear. Like, man, fuck that. You get my time, I'm gonna take this shit. So yeah, man, they got all that stuff, man. Like, TZ, like I'm not sure. Like, see, you watch other podcasts. Lex, you said your dad was he worked around the airbase, or your dad was active duty.
That's right up here. Yeah, he was flight line.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He worked on them around they land. He wrench on them and
Yeah.
turn them around and send them back up.
Yeah,
So,
because TCU's weapons.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. You load them, huh?
Well,
Yeah,
I load them too. We
Oh, you munitions
like
and
right
weapons
now,
was the same. Same shit, right?
yeah, it's a little bit different. Like
Right.
armament, the guys that load it.
Right.
We're the guys that make it and take it
Got
to
you,
them.
got you. So you use the little jammers and shit. Or
Yeah, we use cameras and stuff,
Yeah.
man. We carry bombs and missiles
I wanna
around.
get
We do
one
the
of
same
those.
thing. We do the same thing except with the guys that are armament. They normally load it onto the jet. Like a lot of us, we store it. We can build it, given the right components and stuff. So, that's where I'm at.
You were it was fuck happened, man. Like somebody had when I was working at Cubic, the dudes had did something, man. Somebody had it was like a fuse fell out or something happened, man, where it shut the whole fucking two sorties got shut down. Somebody did something with a fucking it was, I think they loaded up alive or something like that by mistake. It was some shit. And somebody got fired and fucked over that. They like shit, they like everything, they were like, everybody stop everything, where you going, don't move, all the planes stopped taxiing right where they were. And it was some fraud shit or something happened out there. It happened to do with munitions. I forgot what it was, but that's all. You know what I mean? That shit's, training is training, man. But then like you get lackadaisical, and that could be a lot of shit, people dying and shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, you be around those airplanes a lot, man. And like you get, even like me, I got used to walking under the jet engine. But if some dumb motherfucker come out there and don't know to bend down, he gets blown away over the blast wall. And it's like, I mean, it won't kill you just by the idle, but it'll still blow your ass off your feet. You know what I mean? Well, I guess it could kill you if you land on your neck, but but that shit was, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm not scared of a lot of shit. But the dude's like, yeah, go to the other side, Station 1. Because TC, I was doing I would load up on Station 8 and Station 1 for the, Station 2 and Station 8 for the GPS part. And we would have to sometimes put him on Station 1, and I didn't like that because you had to turn it up sideways, and the hangers all fucked up. And I ain't like loading up like that, man. But yeah, man, it is what it is. But hey, man, guys, again, thanks for your time, man. It's about 3 hours, and I got to go out there and pick out this dude's cake. And
yeah, but
yeah, it's about 7:00 in the morning here,
Oh,
man.
shit.
I've been up all night.
my bad, cutting into your grinding time. My bad, man.
Nah, you good, man.
Both of y'all, because I know we weren't talking. Y'all both be on that shit right now.
Well, I know.
man.
Well, I'm off on Fridays and Saturdays because that's the way they do it in the Middle East.
Yeah.
So I work Sunday through Thursday, and man, normally after Thursday night,
Yeah,
I'm grinding, man.
yeah. I took the other one because I got the Pro. So I upgraded to the Pro, and I took the other one home. And so what I do now is I try to at least, if I don't get to it every day, I try to at least get a daily workout like every day at least. Do that.
Yeah.
And so at home, it's cool because I gotta just put this one on rest, and then it syncs up automatically. If it doesn't sync up, you just download from the cloud. So I've been playing both. It's cool to tune the car at my home and then play it at the shop on the other rig. So I got a wheel at the house, but it's just kind of not. It's just clamped to the table, and the seat's too high, so I feel like I'm driving a fucking school bus and everything. So I don't really fuck with that one too much. And it's only 2 pedals and shit. So yeah.
This is my little setup. I'm sitting on the sofa, but this is my little setup. I don't know if you can see it.
Lex can see you. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my little G29. I got it set up to a little brace here, and then I got it hooked up to the PlayStation 5, and for some reason my girlfriend saw my excitement when Gran Turismo 7 dropped off in Thailand.
Yeah.
She saw me excited, and all of a sudden she's like, "I want to play it too."
Yeah.
So I told her, I was like, "Okay, I'll give you my PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I'll give you my PlayStation 4. I'll download the game on there, and I'll give you all my games, and you could just play it there. So,
how old is she, by the way? Your girl?
Actually, me and my girl are the same age. We're both 42.
No shit. This seems pretty. I mean, hey man, to like that's right there. That's a good flag, man. People always come about red flags. That's a green flag because you know what I mean. She even if she ain't really into it, she just getting into it to you know. That's where you know a lot of dudes don't get, man. When like kind of going back on the family advocacy program and shit we were talking about before, is like the dudes be picking the wrong chicks, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, she might be a dime, but that she can't fucking cook grits. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like,
stop right now. Stop preaching.
Yeah, man. So you know what I mean? Like, you can't be all pretty and can't chop. You know, she fucking bring back some cabbage with all the white part. Like, nah, you cut that part off and put it in there. Like, she threw all the green shit in the trash and shit, man. Like, fuck out of here, man. Cut the T-bone out the steak. I heard that happened before real life here in Japan. Dude got divorced. He divorced actually 2 years after that. But like, yeah, but it was some other shit. But that was like, that might have been like, nah, you gotta go. Lex, the Japanese chick cut the dude's T-bones out. She didn't realize the bone, you know, makes the marrow makes the flavor. Yeah. She cut the bone out and shit and threw them in the trash. So it's like,
that man steak.
Yeah. like I can't even suck on that shit. Get the salt off the part and everything. You never really. No, man, that's part of the T-bone is part of the fucking festivities. This shit, man. Yeah, man. But that shit's wild, man. But I mean, he said he divorced over that, but like, nah, it was some other shit. But that was just probably it. But yeah, man, hey, man.
That was just the final.
Yeah, he's like, nah, we gotta go, man. I can't have this shit. Fucking up a $15 steak, man. But even though like that shit, he bought that shit up to BXTC, and you know that shit I don't even buy because I bought like a T-bone there, man. But you know that shit's like frozen. Then they thaw it and then they freeze it. Yeah, that shit. Even the fucking ground beef don't taste like ground beef in America because that shit been flash frozen, thawed out, flash frozen again, and then they put this red dye on it where it be red as fuck, and then when you open it up, it'd be black. It'd be like not black but brown.
Brown is red.
Yeah.
Brown.
Yeah. As soon as you cut into that shit, it's brown, so you know it ain't. They dye the fuck out of it.
Well, see, that's well for me because what we do is we buy certain forbidden meat products in Bahrain, and we bring them back, and that's how we notice it. Cause so you know how it is over in Saudi. You know what kind of country it is, so you know we can't have that pea product.
Yeah.
So we find ways to get it for ourselves personally. For a while I was getting it and selling it.
Oh man, no. I mean, we don't get a lot of viewers, man, but I don't want nobody to be like, hey man, he was talking reckless about chicks, so I'm gonna get him in trouble. So it's like, yeah, man. But hey man, I gotta get out of here, man. My wife bugging me and shit, man. I gotta go get him some goddamn toys and some other shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, man. But I got shit. Man, we put him there. I should have had him spaced out. My other one, oldest was March 10. And then I got which come today. And then I got my daughter is fucking next week. And then the twin, like, yes, my twins are next week. And then my daughter's in July. So, yeah.
Maxed it out.
Yeah, man.
Shit, I feel bad. I ain't even made none yet.
Well, I'm talking about far as everything is close. Like, it's me, my son, and then, like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? But, I mean, for me, I don't get shit. You know, I'm the provider, so I don't get nothing. I just, you know, I get my son gave me a thumbs up and shit. I'm like, cool, man. Like, the fuck? He was like, gave me, like, a thumbs up. We had this little cake and shit. I'm like, cool, man. It's like, it's weird as fuck to see, like, he'll be riding his bike and he'll look at me and give me the thumbs up. Like, all right, cool, man. You're doing good. Yeah, so it's cool shit, man. Don't be. I mean, you're 42 TC, man. Still ain't too late, but you know what I mean. You know you in your situation. But the
well, yeah.
Go and adopt some Ukraine kids, man.
No, I gotta make mine. I'll make mine. I mean,
yeah. You see the meme with the my bad trying to get out here. You see the meme with the dude that's getting these hot ass Ukraine chicks and like, yeah, I got my refugee. Like they got this one, it's like, and then one guy was like, as an old dude in a wig, like this ain't what I ordered and shit. So yeah, man. But
I'm good. I'm good, man. I'll probably do something in about a year or so, man. You know, who knows, man?
Yeah.
Because once I get my VA money, I'm able to do a whole lot more, man. Because I trying to have my stuff done here within the next 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, man. You'll be solid, man. But like I say, with all that shit, you know, Lex got 2, I got 5, and it's still, you know, for me, man, it enhanced my life, man, because I already work hard anyway. But it's like, you know, just to make it happen for them, man. You it's like you block out, you really block out dumb shit, and some stuff still trickles in, but it's like with the kids and family, man, like the shit that you could be focused on, like you don't even give a fuck about. You know what I mean? Like it's a cool thing, man. But at the same time, I don't be like those people pushing on everybody. You know what I mean? Because I do it because it ain't for everybody, and it's better to not have kids to be a shitty parent. You know what I mean? Because if you're a shitty parent, then I can't fuck with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not the kid's fault that you came in a chick and everything, you know, or whatever, how you want to do that shit. Put her with a turkey baster or whatever, how you got her pregnant. But the kids, and you know, kids, they, like Lexis was talking about before he came on, man, like you could be having the most fucked up day, man, and they don't give a fuck about none of that because they don't know nothing about it. They just know about they want gummy bears and shit and ice cream before they go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So then you be mad and shit, but you know, sometimes you got to catch yourself. But you know, that's my public service announcement for the day, man. Don't take it out on the kids, man, because you're afraid to approach your bully. You know, it ain't your kid's fault. That's your fault. You know, you got to stand up for yourself and ask for that raise or go somewhere else. Don't stay somewhere where you ain't want it. Because when you die, they're gonna feel like, we know that shit, TC, in the military. So exactly when you get kicked out, they already got 5 more people to fucking replace you, man. And that's everywhere. It ain't only military, but you know what I mean, the military is ruthless with that shit, though.
That's true, man.
Yeah, man.
True, man.
All right, man, guys, I'm gonna get out here, man. It's gonna be Donnie signing up for some South Japan, TC somewhere in Asia, and fucking Lex from Richmond, California, CA not VA, like we always say, man, because he don't date his cousins out there and everything, man. But yeah, it's like, well, all right, cool, guys. Again, be sure to check out the other podcasts. Again, people, this is 141. They're not in chronological order. Nobody really, a podcast like that, I don't see that lasting long for anybody. So pretty much any podcast you click on is going to be different. The thing about Lex and us, the vibe is always, cool. We're not like filling each other out, and it's a pretty loose. So anything with Lex is pretty looser and cooler. People I don't know is like I'm getting to know them live on there. So it's a little, for some people it was a little awkward. Like Ryan Literal, straight out the back, good vibe and everything. Other guys, they just kind of, they're not used to being on camera and on YouTube, so they kind of get all, uptight. Nothing wrong with that, but it's just they're not used to it and everything. So again, guys, there, be sure to like, subscribe, and all that stuff. You check out TC on Instagram, Shadow Evolution, correct?
Mm.
Then
Evolution Ronin.
Then you got say it again.
Evolution Ronin.
Evolution Ronin. My bad. You got something with Shadow, right? Was that your
that's
PSN?
My PSN.
Okay. I knew I fucked them up. So Evolution Ronin, Instagram, I'll put it down in the description. Of course, Lex, always Lex _ King _ 24, and then mine, Pinku style, everything and stuff like that. So again, look down in the description box there. Again, this is the Joe Rogan hour. This is like 3 hours long, but I'm still, I don't want to cap my shit at an hour because you start cutting shit off and just talk, man. You know what I mean? These guys give me their time, so I'm not gonna tell them hush them up. Like we're gonna talk and do whatever and stuff like that. So again, guys are there. Check out the last ones. Again, check out those guys on Instagram. Follow them. See what we do. We got the Gran Turismo 7, Gran Turismo, I think it's GT7 Sport, Grip and Drift. You can check that out. And that's on the thing too. And yeah, man, just be safe out there. And let's get all this Corona shit, man. So it's going to be done signing out. See you guys later. Peace.